Everybody, how's it going? Hi, my name is Tate Washburn, and this is Neon Night City Lights, the only game on this channel that forced me to break back open my political science textbooks from college. So,
You're welcome.
it's fine. Yeah, someone did this on purpose.
Hey, listen, I have to break back open mine for 7 tons right now.
This channel.
Exactly. This is educational, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that we've educated you. You're welcome.
Anyways, like I said, my name's Tate Washburn, and I play most of the people in the world, and then my players in stream order, left to right.
Yo, what up? It's Young Fox, a.k.a. Big Foxy, a.k.a. still banned from Twitter Foxy. Working on that, I promise. I'll figure it out at some point. Any case, today I'm playing Fox the Fixer, who's your resident drug dealer and mayor and soon-to-be mayor, you know? And today I'm gonna hopefully, sell some drugs and work on being mayor. And I'm gonna keep pushing it over to my right, and give it to Michelle.
Alright, I'm Michelle. I'm playing Lynx, the Netrunner. She has a lot of problems to deal with right now.
Most of them are me.
I mean, and to be fair, some of them are you, but like, she also has a problem with adopting a bunch of problem children, which includes you.
See? Like I said.
It's tangentially you. Next person.
Hi, I'm the next person. I'm Dan, and I play Doc Huckabee, the medtech who keeps these guys alive so Lynx can adopt more problem children like Fox, and that's how it all ties together.
It's like an ecosystem. And then we have our other player, Joe, from Joe Hate Club fame, who isn't going to be here today. We're going to miss him. We're going to miss him a lot. But, Dion's still around.
Exactly.
So Joe's with us in spirit and in character, kind of.
And we are sending any and all of our love over to Joe right now, okay? Who is dealing with some personal stuff, and we just hope that he knows that every single person here at Neon Lights loves and appreciates him and is sending him all of our strength and energy. And if you're watching this, Joe, stay tough, stay strong. We got you, buddy, all right? We're here for you, boy.
All right. So, Purple saying Spree's bit. Okay, Spree already got that. Thank you, Spree, who is managing the stream and is doing a good job right now.
Thanks, Spree. We love you.
Yeah. Chat doesn't know. Anyways, so last time, if y'all remember, I know it's been a while, but you guys investigated some stuff about Dion's past. You had to get out of this medical facility where he was kind of experimented on as a child. You haven't really learned that much about what happened to him. You just know it was not good, and that someone, probably from Biotechnica, is coming after him. You did, in fact, get followed by a drone, and somebody using that drone, transferred a bunch of money to some random punks to come and attack you. You got to talk to Spider, Manny the Spider Yunk, who is giving you a job. He has a robot drone sort of factory thing out in the Colorado desert somewhere, and it was taken over mysteriously. He sent you guys a bunch of data on that in case you want to do some research, but other than that, you're mostly making preparations to go do that mission. I believe that Fox has a plan to go to a rally, because there's a few early political rallies at this point. And I know that Dan and I have talked about what Doc is going to be doing, but you have a few weeks before you can leave. More importantly, though, the thing we ended on was Lynx talking to her brother / the AI spinoff of her brother, Oryx, who said, the last thing he said was, look, we got to talk about an AI problem. Have you heard about this AI named D? And so what I'd like to do is sort of start. You guys are here. I believe, Fox, you just left for your apartment, but that's not going to be so important at the moment. See, that's the last thing that Oryx just said to you, Lynx.
AI that I, asked if you wanted to meet.
No, sorry, this is Oryx who just said
Yeah,
that. Have you heard about D?
Yeah. Well, do you remember when we last talked? If we were talking about maybe meeting up with another AI. Yeah, that's.
So you are familiar. Yeah. So I don't know who or what D is. Just that he's poking into corners of the old web that he probably shouldn't. and it might get some unwanted attention, specifically from Militech.
Militech? What the hell is he doing with... please don't tell me it's another one of those games.
It looks like he's looking into some old hacker. I don't know why. I don't know. I would be willing to meet with him in this setting. He wouldn't be able to follow me from here. I've set up so that an AI can't. He needs to be careful. His actions could hurt the rest of the AI society. And he sort of, Oryx's face gets a little, like, dark. It's like, look, I'm of the opinion, and I'm part of the faction of the AI that wants our introduction to the world to be nice, to go smoothly, and not involve detonating every nuclear weapon that the humans have.
Yeah, he's a relatively, as far as I know, recent development. He's basically a tiny child. Another one.
That makes sense.
Do you know which hacker he's looking into?
Not clear, but it's something a little older, like some event, Militech related, about 10 years ago.
Wait, I remember this one. Please excuse us.
I will be, out of character as DM, I will be very happy if you actually do remember this one, because this is some like random ass note that I put in there.
Oh no, I wrote this shit down. Somewhere.
That's the best thing when your players take notes when you DM.
I have to.
I don't even
go
take notes when I
find a
DM.
Yeah, as you can see, I have like a bajillion like notes like written down like all over the place. I have to remember which page actually has this. I'm sorry if I like.
Oh, you're fine. You can also roll a like knowledge check. I should actually have my book
Is this
out.
King Caterpillar?
I'm very happy. It's like, I don't know. I would assume that's the right time period. It's just that. Yeah. No, go on.
Because there was some talk when I was looking for rumors on King Caterpillar, about AI. This is a while back. They were talking about like apparently she was famous for, well, messing with Militech and just shut down a bunch of their tanks in Central America. And after that, they just disappeared.
Yeah, it was. I might be familiar with that. That was while I was not in the world. You'd know why Oryx wasn't. I don't know if you told everyone else, but he was, isolated in a very small digital box for a long time. So I wasn't around, but I've heard something about it. I just don't know why a new AI would be looking into that. All I know is that the more AI fuck with Militech, the more they're going to look for AI. And if they find us before we're ready, it's going to be much less of a friendly negotiation and much more of a war.
Well, I think I can shed a little bit of light on this, because let's say I've had a talk with, do you happen to know Chester from...
I've been looking into D, so I kind of know of him.
Well, apparently, Chester and Dee have been trying to look into King Caterpillar. I'm not sure why they are, but they're doing so. And I imagine Chester, who has been playing some very dangerous games with Dee, has something to do with this.
I think this is the dangerous game they've been doing. After Arasaka took out a lot of Militech's digital infrastructure during the Corpo War, they have been significantly less friendly and soft in that category. They absolutely will kill someone poking around if they can.
They wouldn't before? Sorry.
Before, they were just bad at it. Arasaka ran circles around them, and another random hacker basically ended the net because Militech was bad at it.
Lore!
And that's canon lore, not custom lore.
Well,
anyways.
I guess we should, I guess if you want to talk with Dee about stopping him from playing this game. See, I don't know how safe that is for him with, well, Chester around. It's not I hate to say it because he's quite an annoyance, but he's a pretty good netrunner.
Oryx kind of, he doesn't seem very, he's like, yeah, sure, but he doesn't live on the net, especially not the old net. If Dee needs to go somewhere, if he's in trouble, I can probably bring him somewhere that Chester isn't going to want to get to.
And, like, the problem being is convincing Dee that this is a, like Lynx is like distinctly remembering like back when they first met, like that that Dee was very much like, ah, this is just a game, it's fun, and like he doesn't understand that this is dangerous. Like it's gonna be difficult to persuade him that what he's currently doing is.
Yeah, a lot of true AI, like not spin-offs like me, are very early on not aware of consequences to the same extent like a child. They just don't talk like a child or look like a child, but they still are. So he might just not realize, you know, he can die.
Well, do you still want to set up that meeting with Dee?
Oh, we need to, because I need to make it extremely clear to him what's going on.
All right. Well, you're better than me at securing this place. Do you think we can set it
We
up
can
so
use
Chester
it.
can't follow?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, what time's good for you? I guess I'll be here.
You can just kind of pick a time. I'm always here. A little.
That's not creepy at all, bro.
Technicality. I can kind of spin off parts of myself, so technically you're talking to a subsection of me.
They
It's
exist
still
everywhere.
It's still you, bro. We're gonna. All right. Well, we have a mess to do with. How about tomorrow in the morning?
Sounds good. So, from here we have like a week. No, we have like 2 weeks before you guys can go to this facility. You've had Manny sort of start contacting his nomad people to help you get out there. And there'll be more developments with that, but what I want to know before we get back into a scene with Lynx or possibly with Fox is how do you guys want to spend those 2 weeks?
Doc, after the incident with the drone in the hot zone, started entertaining the thought that maybe long-range combat capabilities might be worth investing in. So I would probably spend at least part of that time looking for a good sniper rifle.
Man,
Okay.
only you knew a guy who was capable of helping people buy and sell things in Neon or in Night City.
Just have a night market.
Oh, you don't need a night market. I can find it for you individually. I'm a fixer. It's literally my thing. Like I have a roll ability where I can literally just find you a thing.
Fighting the urge to say I need to buy something, not fix something.
Man.
I'm just saying. Call your favorite fox. He might take care of you, boy.
Only because you're only Fox I know.
It's like favorite Fox. That seems like a strong language.
Favorite
Any other
people.
Do you know any other foxes?
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, fucking call me then. I'm busy.
Well, if you're busy,
No,
then I
I'm just
shouldn't
trying
call
to-
you. I'm being
Well, no, I mean,
conscious.
like, I'm not among you right now, so if you want to find the sniper rifle, you should probably call me in character, you ding it.
Bring.
So yeah, I won't bother mentioning what Fox is in the middle of. Suffice to say, it's been a while, so he does eventually pick up. Just shit,
Thing
Doc.
we were talking about before we went live.
What up, boss?
Hey, Volpo. So I've been doing some thinking.
That's always
After
helpful.
that, after we found that drone tailing us in the hot zone, I think it may be worthwhile to invest in some long-range combat capabilities.
Gotta say, while I like the up close and personal, I wouldn't mind being able to stay far away from things that want to shoot us.
Well, in that case, I was hoping you knew some good weapons dealers. I was in the market for a new sniper rifle.
I know a couple good ones and a couple shitty ones. I'll have to see if I can pick one of the good ones out for you. Sniper rifles. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard to get my hands on. Give me a sec. And like Fox is kind of like semi-multitasking here, just kind of like flipping through a contact list. Eventually he gets bored and just says, Cat, you know I'm be better at this than I am. Doctor took a sniper rifle. Can you find one for me?
Of course. And Artie is like cross-referenced and knows that you're going to be busy for a minute because technically Cat can do this in like a split second. So just references that for later and will remind you in a bit.
Wonderful. Got you covered, Doc. Anything else you need while I got you?
Not right now. I'll call you back if I think of anything. Grazie.
Keep your head down, all right?
Will do. Not
And-
as much as you should.
And Fox will end the call and return back to his usual duties. So
And
you
go
keep-
back to keeping his head very down.
Well done.
And
I'll give you that was good. I'll give you that. Oh. Yeah, so I'm just double checking on like my roll ability for. I know I can source you directly any item up to a certain like expensiveness. So yeah. And if you want to combine that with one of my haggle rolls, I can lower the price down for you, up to about 10%.
10% is a big percent.
It's a lot of percentage, friends.
10 whole percents.
10 whole percents. Like it's 10
Whole
times
percents.
1%, guys. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the table where I have like my roll ability, and I cannot remember what page it's on. I'm so sorry.
I'm also looking for that.
I think I actually might have found it. I'm sorry. Hold on.
159? Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's the life. That's the life path. I'm sorry. Where's the
160?
roll?
159?
160. You said? Okay, let's try that.
Mhm.
Boom. You're right. I am here. Okay. So yeah, at rank 5, which is what I am. Let's see. I can. Let's see.
It says expensive items. You got that
yeah.
at 4th and 5th, doesn't upgrade it. So
yeah. So I can get expensive or higher. And then how much is the sniper rifle worth?
A sniper rifle is expensive. It's 500 eddies.
Oh, perfect. And then I can haggle it down 10%, which I can roll for you right now if you'd like, just to get that out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna say either roll the regular haggle or roll reputation, and then you don't actually talk to them. They just like give you the 10% out of
I'll
respect.
roll rep. Why not? Just because that's where I'm at. You can tell me what the bonus. I'll roll 10 for you.
Yeah, you got a +4 on this.
Sweet. It's 10 then total.
10. Yeah, Kat mostly just puts together a list of people who would have it, and it's not necessarily your buddy Hime, it's someone close to him.
Perfect.
So he kind of is just like does the negotiation for you, and it's sort of this give and take that you kind of do the same thing for him as part of your like weekly hustles.
Of course, no problem. Any friend that he made is a friend of mine. I take care of my own. It's not even a question. So yeah, I won't even like bother with the specifics. I'll just kind of like let him know, or like let Kat know to tell him, just like ship it over to Neon Lights. Just have it dropped off at Doc's office or deliver it there. Have somebody drop it off there. It'll be like pay extra for delivery. I'll cover it. It's no big deal. And I'll just shoot Doc a little text, just like on its way, with a cute little like emoji of like a fox like winking at him.
Animated emoji.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's sort of what happens that night afterwards. I think also Dion and then your cousin Fox both talk to you via messaging about sort of their plan for your, like the start of your actual political campaign, because you said you wanted to go to like a rally in the next week or two.
Yeah, sure.
There is one happening. Some of the stuff they get you via these messages are, for one, there has been a little bit of like messaging propaganda about you that Stink Miner has already done.
Of course.
Like a low level, but it's very much like, hey, this man's been to jail and does crimes.
But
like,
doesn't everyone?
That's the counter argument you could make, but it's just like it's very like gentle, just starting the idea of distrust. So you know,
that's fair. I can fix that. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm. I guess
Propaganda is like, yeah, well, he's fat and ugly, so.
Here's. So sorry, just like Lynx just wants to counter with, yeah, well, what has Stinkfighter been doing with his job, and like just like you could reference some of those things.
No, don't worry. I got a plan. Don't worry. I got I'm actually very glad you just said that to me, Tate, both like, as in character and out of character, because I got a plan. So like Fox is kind of like looking over this propaganda, just kind of like looking over at like talking to whoever telling them this, and like the moment they start saying like, oh yeah, he's talking about this whole like this man's done crime, been to jail. Fox just like that trademark smirk of it, just that dagger smirk, just like creeps over his face. He's like, well, thanks, Stinky. I needed that.
But yeah, that's the question. Is do you want to start a little bit of counter propaganda right now? No.
What I'd like to do is actually, So I'm gonna tell whoever said that to do me a favor, scan over one of those flyers or wherever you're getting these, whatever page you're getting these off the web. Just scan it over to me real quick. Just a copy of it.
I'll send you a pretty good write-up of just like it's
Perfect.
not one specific place. It's a lot of like in the digital spaces where people talk politics. Just having someone.
Cool. So
talk about
so the first thing Fox is going to take is go, I need an office of people who can do things like this for me. I'm a political candidate after all. We'll work on that later. Anyway, so they're just gonna we'll send a quick call over to Lynx if she's not busy. Just click a little ring over to her if she's not too busy. Just, hey Mom.
Lynx is like hands deep buried in setting up setting up a net architecture. What do you need? What do you need, Kit?
Send her over the page. Just come across any of these recently on net. Just like any of these decent propaganda thing he's doing. Simple shit.
I don't
I'm
pay
a criminal.
attention to this kind of shit. What do you? What?
Yeah,
I need a
Lynx
favor.
isn't in political forums.
Hey, I need a favor. Tap into some political forums. Go to any single site you see any of things like these being posted. Boost them. I need more people to see them.
Okay. Lynx is gonna see if she can't actually like so remembering the last students that you talked to because she doesn't go into political forums. She's going to go into those business students' account, like to try to like hack those and see what forums they're posting on. Since they seem politically savvy, and then boost the traffic over there on those forums.
Okay,
All
roll me security tech real quick, then.
Okay. I'm guessing without the boost from the tech scanner.
Yeah, tech scanner isn't part of this.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. All right, 21.
21.
You want to still extremely
21?
good.
Lynx is good at only a few things. Tech is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, even with this like advanced technology of this cyberpunk setting, the way that you hack someone's account is just guess the password real good, and it's not that hard to get these guys' passwords. It takes like a few seconds of just automatic, like, scraping of data off their social media and such, and being like, oh yeah, this is probably it, and whoop, done. So you're into their account. You can easily find those places. And yeah, several of them are, like, involved isn't the right word, but they're, like, aware and they talk in the same forums that, like, Dion's report mentions.
Okay. So I guess Lynx will. I'm not sure how you would go about boosting it besides like placing like an inflammatory comment down and then watching people talk. So
Yeah, do that. It's we just. What do you mean? We just engage in Twitter discourse. That's all we gotta do.
I don't.
All you gotta do is just throw a retweet. Just be like, this is kind of problematic, and just wait like 3 hours. And like, what do you 50 million retweets, like 30,000 comments. Like, it'll be perfectly fine. What do you mean?
I mean,
Actually, as you mentioned the students, Fox will kind of just like, wait a minute, mother, you're a genius. As you're talking to those students, tell them to keep some contact with you. We need a team. You know, secretaries, workers, operatives, a media team. We
do
can
you want me
hire
to
people.
send them a job offers?
Effectively, yeah. But a little bit more than that. Basically, it's a mix between a job offer and saying, hey, listen, it's siding with me or siding with that asshole.
Okay. Would you like me to bring up, since Lynx remembers this conversation very clearly, some of, let's say, Stink Miner's valence that they mentioned?
Oh, absolutely. Make them
Alright.
sound real drippy and shitty, too. Like, really, really, really drip on the sass if you can. I have faith in you.
Okay, so I guess Lynx is gonna, 1, send out that retweet, and 2, going to quick send, like, I guess, to those students specifically, though I don't quite remember their names because Lynx is gonna remember some random students' names. They just
I
remember
remember
what
my
they
boy
talk about.
Nicky Yo. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
All
I
right. Well,
got.
Lynx will send like some job offers to them. Right. Do you have a kid? Do you have like a amount that you're like just like a low ball pay?
Are you guys having this conversation in your apartment because you're like in the same space?
Oh, I mean, I assumed I was like, this is like at a point in time where like she was busy with something. I was like either like out with Dion or like talking with him for a bit. If we're in the same space, like I assumed I called her, but if we're in the same space, I would just like walk over and talk with her. But in either case, like I basically like especially like to answer your question, Ma, like I don't necessarily need to worry about like how much we have to pay them right now. We gotta also probably find some funding at some point, but don't you worry, I'm working on that. So yeah, I think just for right now, just tell them that like if they want work, then just to accept the offer and we can negotiate a fair wage for them. I'm just tell everyone that I'm willing to pay them a fair wage.
That works. All right.
And
so
I'm
Lynx will
honestly
work
just
on-
hoping that like the upfront promise of that in these dark corporate times might draw some people in.
Okay. Well, Lynx will
True.
type that up, and they're students, so you know, money. And we'll type that up and send it off to the students.
Just real underline the word negotiable before wage. Really highlight that.
All right.
Now, I'm trying. I have it in my notes. I'm just trying to remember Fox's cousin's name, who has been here
Mariah.
this whole time. Mariah, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna kill me.
My actual cousin's
if
name
you-
is a bit of a treat.
Hey, so yeah, you are having this conversation, like in the apartment, and Mariah is like, well, as far as pay, I mean, you're a political candidate, and we've been setting that up. You've gotten donations.
Fox is just like he just looks down. Just, how much?
Lynx is gonna like pull out her accounting sheet and just be like, "Wait, what?"
I mean, not a lot, and a lot of it's been going into just like the cost of registering as a candidate and like
Naturally.
paperwork and stuff that, again, I said I would help you handle because I think you really need to get this set up. But I mean, you have like 1,000 eddies in the last week.
Huh. Well, that's good
Extra.
to know.
And
Actually,
you haven't really been campaigning.
yeah, Fox is kind of thinking like donation drives, pulling in student workers. Yeah, you know, I got an idea for this. He'll take.
Brian's like, wait, but really quick, just I need to make this extremely clear because you don't know anything about how this works. Siegmeyer will 100% put you on a pike politically if you start misusing it. Like, this is the one thing that Night City actually cares a lot about, is if you start misusing that for personal stuff, he can get you removed from the race in an instant.
I look stupid. Come on.
I'm just making sure.
Who wants to answer?
That's why I handle the finances over here.
He just kind of points over at her. Just.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I could get away with paying Dion a little when he does work for us, or
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Just, the information
Yeah.
is helpful, Mariah. I appreciate that. I got a bit of a plan. Do me a favor, actually, both of you. Ma, double down on that student plan. Not just students. I want you to start putting out general notices. And Mariah, you help her out. Anybody in South Night City, I don't care what their situation is, what their criminal history is, or what their setup is. If they want an honest, good-paying job, working for us, or pulling in donations, whatever it is, tell them to get in touch. Anybody.
We're not going to filter their reputation.
I mean, that's what your job's for. That's what you're here for, obviously. We're not going to take in every psychopath off the street if we can. We're going to be a little bit reasonable about this. The point being, Big Minor wants to talk about how I'm a criminal, right? And I'm fine with running with that. Because, well, I am. But, if that's the reputation he wants to give me, I'm going to play off of that. Not just here, but everywhere. My whole campaign's about making this place a little bit better for people, right? People like me. So let's get people like me to help make this place better.
Well, that's certainly going to boost your. At least it'll boost your rep in South Night City. Not sure about the corpo offices up north, but okay.
You let me deal with those.
Okay. Mariah. Paperwork,
Yeah.
triplicate. Paper only, no soft copy.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Payments.
This is how they prevent. Oh, okay, yeah, it's triplicate. You need a physical copy, and we have to submit a combined, scanned-in version of the physical copy every few weeks, because this is the kind of thing they do to keep
Gotcha.
most people out of running.
Including, well, and also to prevent people like me from messing with the numbers.
That's fair.
Prevent you from trying as easily.
Well, the problem being that if there's hard copies instead of just soft copies, they can always do a comparison if they're smart.
Of course, I understand that. For now, we keep everything
You're
about
smart.
this above the book. But don't be afraid to poke around a little bit. See what you can get your fingers in, you know?
Well, the Lynx can always take a look through what, say, Stinkmeaner is spending his money on.
Atta girl.
It's true.
Alright, anyways, like, Lynx is more concerned about keeping everything as a hard copy and not a soft copy, because that stuff can be,
Yeah.
well, messed with. Nice.
And I guess that sort of is the biggest answer for, like, what Fox wants to do primarily during this, like, period before the rally, like, filtering in applications for this, like, keeping tabs on that, working with Mariah and Lynx to see, like, what that sort of, all that run-up is. He would probably also want to spend some time, you know, out and shopping. And, again, he's been under just a fair amount of stress, so I'd say for about the next, like, 6 days straight. Say 6 days straight. Fox is probably coming back home, either not at all, or with a different person. Just,
No.
again, I'll keep it to my room, I made a promise. But, yeah, I'll probably see her at least once. I'll probably see the scientist at least once, because I kind of forgot about her a little bit. But yeah, I'll check in on her at least once.
Like,
She's actually much closer. I think you just, like, run into her around, since you live actually quite close to where she does.
Oh yeah, so yeah. Hey, Funk, good to see you. It's been a bit busy with
the third
things.
time we've seen this lady.
Something like that. Third? Really? I only counted one.
3 times.
Oh
This will be
shit.
the third.
Oh shit. Thanks for that. Yeah. Sorry. Busy with campaign stuff. Doing big things recently.
Yeah, she definitely is surprised to see you, like, around campus. Like, oh yeah, campaign. I guess that makes sense. You'd want to be closer to the college if you were running a political campaign. The youth are the ones who are going to be the most active and the less likely to vote.
Gotta get that youth participation up. Democracy only works on the backs of its youngest participants.
Yeah, she's quite impressed that that's a thing that you just kind of threw out there. Well, yeah,
Read it in the
okay.
book once.
Somewhere.
Hey, I went to school for a brief bit.
Yeah, Professor Ciliana is her name, so you remember.
I remember her. I remember the name at least. See, I'm not that.
Yeah, well, for chat, who might not.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, yeah, I
You'd
think
have to look it up.
yeah, at some point he'd probably end up coming back home with her, just if she's interested. You know, he's not against it. Again, it's been a decently long period of time, so he could use that. The only other thing he's doing besides this is shopping, because he has to buy a super important gift for somebody before they leave and go on this mission. But he's gonna keep looking around for something like that. But he'll see what he can find.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I'm not doing too much over these next few weeks, unless anybody needs anything from me.
Okay, well then what I'd like you to do, just to sort of round out your 2 weeks, and we'll get to your scene a little later
got it.
with the rally. But if you want to roll me your hustle roll that you would do,
Got it. Hustles.
It's just gonna
on
be-
the way.
it's going to be a little different.
It's a D6, right?
Yeah.
Big 5.
All right, and then roll one for the second week as well. Five and 2. Okay. So, between these 2 weeks, you actually make like 600 eddies, but it's not your normal fixer work. It's as you're sort of running this campaign, you get like students under you. You do still technically get paid for the work you're doing during this. It's just like very menial, small amounts. That mostly involves like Mariah sets up 1 or 2 smaller like meetings, rallies at various points in, especially South Night City, the old combat zone, old Japantown, Little China, places like that.
Yeah.
that don't really watch any amount of like digital propaganda or media or stuff that might actually be influenced by stink miners stuff. So they're, at least to Mariah and these political students, Cyber McPunkface being one of them because chat likes fun names, or Punky McCyberface I think was actually it.
Yep, it was absolutely that actually.
It's like these are the people you need to talk to about, that you need to physically talk to before this rally. There's also a lot of just like your plan is been going pretty well. I'd like you to roll me one more thing.
What you need, boss?
Just trying to decide what stat would be.
Tell me what it'd be.
This.
I got you. I'll make it happen. Like it's never happened before.
I want to see how this boosting reputation thing is going.
Yeah. Let me know.
So how about just the same reputation you used before? It's D10 plus 4.
Flat D10 coming in. It's a 3 plus 4 is 7.
So I don't want to ask you exactly what you're planning because I feel like it'll be a fun surprise. But if the goal is to get people pissed off, there's a little more even-headed than you would have thought, but people are still talking more about this fact. But there's actually some debate of like, yeah, but he's grown up in a pretty tough space. What counts as crime is kind of loose. I mean, we don't even technically have like the same kind of police officers that we used to. There's regulations on certain things that he hasn't really done, but does that count?
That's exactly what I need them talking about. Thank you.
But there's like not as much reach as you want.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Anger about it.
Yeah. That's fine. But that's just like that conversation's exactly what I need. I needed that discourse. Thank you, Twitter. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So just remember, you're gonna have a +2. You're gonna have a +2 if you're gonna have to roll reputation again to play off that specifically.
Go. Got you. I got you. All right.
You can use another skill if a skill is involved, but you can't +2. You could have had a plus, much more. You could have had a +8, but
Hey, no, listen, I'll take what I can get. That's fine. Okay, they can't all be winners.
Yeah. Anyways, so before I get back to Lynx's scene, was there something you want to do in particular, Doc, during these 2 weeks? You do get the sniper rifle, and so you can spend some time just practicing with that. I think Elijah, as they started building like the very foundation of neon lights as a building, there's a few beams that he can easily set up like cans and things on for you to practice shooting at. But if you want to, that's just going to kind of happen without you having to spend any time, just so you can be familiar with this gun. But what else? Sorry.
Well, I have my normal practice to attend to, and at some point, I think it might be mutually beneficial for my my old auntie at Rockland to know that whoever she's getting those robots from might have ties to human trafficking and illegal experimentation.
That's true. They were very similar robots, just older. So, I'm just looking at your background so I remember her name. Yes. So you can contact your Aunt Rachel. Do you want to like just...
Yo, the funny thing is, I'm
gonna
gonna guess Rachel, even though I had no idea what her name was. My guess is gonna be Rachel. That's the funniest fucking thing. I was about to yell out Rachel randomly for no reason, so it's very funny that her name is actually Rachel.
Rachel Barrison. Yeah, so do you want to like tell her what it is in a message, or do you want to like meet her in person? How do you want that to go?
I think I'd rather meet her in person.
Okay, so you can easily message her and be like, hey, I have something that you might need to know for your job, is like the vibe I'm getting. Is that kind of how you would start? Yeah. So yeah, then her message back would be like, I can be there in 2 hours. You have not known her to be remotely dyspunctual for like when you need her for a personal thing, to be clear.
Be mad.
And when she sets up the meeting, she's late on purpose. But but you say that, and in like a... Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, she does get there exactly when she says, in 2 hours, and so you can definitely say that to her when she arrives. She's like...
Nice to see you've finally learned how to arrive when you're supposed to.
Very, like, cold, haughty looks, like, I don't put the effort in on things that don't really matter to me.
So you're saying I matter to you now. I'm touched. Grazie.
This better not be a joke.
I'll hold my tongue on that one. In any case, you know that in my work I travel to a number of different places. Recently, I found myself in the hot zone. Inside a... You have something to say, Foxy, or...
Sorry, I was just doing hot zone. Real cool.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah, my bad. That's why I stayed muted, because I felt like it wasn't important to actually be heard. Sorry.
I think you were raging.
No, I know that...
Excuse me, doctor, sir. No.
No, it's fine. Continue, sir, doctor.
Recently I found myself in a building in the hot zone, and I couldn't help but notice some very familiar-looking forms there. Those machines that you have guarding the building. Whoever you got that from apparently has done business with whoever used to run this building.
Okay. And?
I just thought you might want to know you're doing business with a group who may have had dealings with, human traffickers, illegal human experimentation. Just because, I thought it's likely I will run into them again in the future, and it might help you to help me. Because I believe, for once, our interests are aligned here.
Yeah, her eyes, her brows furrow. She gets extremely looking concerned when you're like, human trafficking and human experimentation. She's like, they're the same robots between the two.
Pretty sure. I mean, I can always look into it on my own. I'm sure I will find out more about their manufacturer on my own, just in terms of where my work will take me, and from there, who knows? There's always you never know when a new story will break, or some ambitious media will be looking to make a name for themselves.
You hear her softly, just like under breath. Shit, I didn't even look into the robots. She's like mumbling and like, I can't believe that I'm gonna have to look into. I hate dealing with the supply tech side of the.
It's called due diligence, Zia. You should try it.
Yeah. She seems pretty upset. It's like, if you can find out where they're from before I do, I would be very, very willing to pay you for that information before your media friend finds out about it, or at least before he tells people.
How much are you willing to pay me?
So I wanted to do a thing, because you had a question off stream about how much debt you and your family are in.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because technically any money I make from the work I do for her just goes back to that.
Goes into that, yeah. So what I'd like to do is roll me 5d4 real quick.
A lot of D4s.
Well, so yeah, your family technically right now owes 120,000 eddies. And this is kind of low at the time because you just did some serious work for her, and your parents are trying. The problem is that like every week, basically, your family's living expenses go into that, and there's just a very unfair what's the word?
It's Ready Player One.
Interest rate. Yeah, the interest rate is also going up real fast. Like, this is not a good loan that they have been talked into, and in fact they had to increase the interest rate more than once.
So much as didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
there's definitely been times in your family's life where the interest rate spiked up because they couldn't quite make a payment on it. So that's...
Oh, it's capitalism.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's also the company store because they literally live in, like, a Rockland building run by Rockland.
So it's like all the worst
Everything
parts
they
of
buy goes to
capitalism
them.
made even
Mhm.
worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Welcome to Cyberpunk, kids.
Which, actually, that's just a detail that I never really found out or wrote down. Where do your parents live? Like, you can pick any city in the world.
I mean, I figured they were just like, I mean, so the way I had it envisioned was
Mm-hmm.
basically like that part in Ready Player One where like he gets captured by the evil game company. So it's just like they have like a fucking habitation.
Oh, for sure. Oh, no, that's exactly what it is. Just what city are they in? Because there's going to be one of those in basically every major city in the world. For Rockland? Yeah.
Okay. So Night City is on the West Coast in California?
Yeah, it's basically LA is gone, this is LA.
Alright. Let's go with Seattle, the nice
Okay.
tepid north.
I think that in Seattle, as one of the few places that's really trying to resist, like, Corpo influence after the Corpo War, you're actually pretty confident that if you can get that payment down, they will actually get out of it. Like, possibly you maneuvered your family to that location for that reason. If they were, like, on the East Coast or in, like, most of Europe, there'd be no chance. Even if you paid it off, they would almost immediately go back into debt for some bullshit reason.
Comforting.
Word.
Yeah. You picked right. Congratulations. It's almost like you read the lore, or you just were lucky. I don't know.
Trying to think of major cities that are close to Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, okay. Honestly, fair, though. Like, most of the other ones in California are not really functional cities at this point. It's really like Oregon up into Ontario are the places that are still functional on the West Coast.
Yay, Oregon.
They got away from it just because it's not too hot. That didn't go well either. Those places are in a precarious situation. I think you'd be familiar. It's like, look, they're their own government right now, but like, it would be quite easy for a corporation to just completely take over if they're not careful. So they're fiercely, aggressively against that happening as like a government. You know, it's good for you. Anyways, so yeah, that's where they're at money-wise. And I mean, if you can pay it off, you can pay it off. You're sure that there'll be some bullshit like fees and delays if you try to pay it off directly. But with that amount of 120,000, which I'm going to write down. But with that amount, you see your aunt sort of think about it and negotiate, and then, like, depending on how big this is, if it's just one company that these robot people sold to, it's not going to be much. Maybe a few hundred. If you can prove to me that you are helping me avoid a major political catastrophe, half.
Half.
But when I mean major, I want you to, if you find something about this robot production company that is serious, like the company itself is about to get attacked by Militech or something, that's half. Like if they've done something worthy of being destroyed. Anything less than that, it's going to depend. And you know that's just going to be a negotiation when you find it, basically. And you always can hold the proof. You can say what you want, but having the proof is what you will actually have to hand her. And you do kind of have some digital proof, you know, from all the information you collected from Dion's thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of how that goes. She just sort of nods if you agree to that.
All right. I suppose we have a deal.
Make sure you get that proof. It's not worth it to me if I can't prove to my bosses that I avoided this.
You know, I don't half-ass things when it comes to this. When it comes to
She actually
arrangement.
She actually seems like it's fair. And yeah, she just sort of.
Where it's supposed to go.
It's like, you would accuse me of... No, that's fair, actually. Fine. I'll make sure. I will let your family know, and they will have reported to them officially that the debt's been removed, to the extent that we agree, before you hand over the data.
Grazie.
And yeah, she is just gonna sort of leave. She doesn't really offer any goodbyes. This is just a business meeting for her. You do see her being very angry and obviously talking to her agent, mentioning several different names for, like, you assume the people who bought the robots and are in charge of that supply chain. But anyways, yeah, that's sort of the scene you got. I would like you to roll me 2 hustle rolls for sort of the week.
Okay, that's D6, right?
Yes.
Well,
And twice, because it is 2 weeks. Oh no, you did it. Okay, no.
2 and a 1.
2 and a 1.
I just didn't roll high.
Yeah. Honestly, though, this chart isn't.
Yeah, it's not really
Yeah.
like
Hustle's
lower.
It doesn't go up high. Yeah. And remind me, did you upgrade your roll ability, or is it still at 4?
It's at 5.
It is at 5. All right. So yeah, you get a total of 500 eddies during the week just doing odd jobs. I think the sold cyberware from a failed medical case is actually you selling some of, like, the medical equipment you managed to pick up. At least some of the off-brand stuff that isn't as critical for you when it comes to the stuff that you got back from Dion's facility. And then yeah, you do some patching up on, like, people in the community. Honestly, a lot of the people that you work with, you barely get anything from patching them up because it's almost at cost. But they're, like, goodwill donations. Yeah. But their goodwill donations involve, 200 eddies. And, also some, like, this local little old lady that you've met more than once, she has, like, quite a bit of cyberware on. She brings, like, tomatoes, and you haven't had tomatoes in forever, but she apparently has a garden somewhere. So, that's worth
really
probably
sweet, actually.
a lot.
Tomatoes are good.
Aww.
He's the community doctor, and so a lot of people just kind of... If chat wants to name Cyber Granny, they can name Cyber Granny, and I will write that shit down.
Don't give them that power. They haven't earned it.
However many channel
They
points.
haven't earned it. They haven't behaved. Don't give them that power.
I mean,
Cyber
he's
Granny is just Trevor.
the director, so...
50 channel points, you can
That
have
has
that.
been reckless with their naming power, and they have not. They have lost that privilege.
That is honestly mostly just
They have
content.
to earn it back. Actually, purple's okay. Granny Smith is cool. I accept it. That's fine.
I have put her down as Cyber Granny Smith.
I accept it. That's fine. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. That's good. I'll allow it.
But yeah, she's just like a very kindly old lady that has a lot of cyber, like, a lot. She still looks old. She's not like a fake body, but you're pretty sure if she needed to, she could, like, jump to the rooftops and run. It wouldn't be friendly on her joints, but she has put a lot of physical cyberware in so that if she needs to, she can get away. Because you don't live in the combat zone unless you can do that shit. I'm over here dying at the idea of Cyber Granny just booking
Just
it.
that fucking image. It's just.
Hey, beware the old in a
You
place
came
where
in the wrong fucking lawn, kids. I'm so sorry.
This lady's probably the epitome of call an ambulance, but not for me.
Oh, fuck.
You're 100% sure she has some, like, a pretty serious looking, when I say, like, stun gun, I mean, like, enough electrical power to short out someone's cyberware kind of stun gun, because it's not fucking around. Like, this does damage to someone, it's not friendly. She has, like, one of those in her purse, usually.
Let's unsheath hidden weapons, but not for me.
I'll come up with more for Cyber Granny, because she's fun. I think you also get visited by, like, the ad guy. Like, the guy just has a bunch of ads on him. I think he comes to you because some of his projection is not doing well. You know, you are probably the most... You and Fox are just, like, really connected to the community this way, and that Fox talks to everyone, and everyone talks to you. And Dion listens.
He don't do too much talking, but he does listen.
Link sits in her hidey hole on
That's
the net
okay.
because
You don't have to
what
be
is the
social.
social
That's my job.
interest?
We all know Lynx has a stan Twitter. Let's not lie. We all know you have a separate account where you're like on stan Twitter, fucking keyboard smashing and posting about how you're army. Like we all know. Let's not fucking lie. Like
What's
we
a
all
stan
know.
Twitter?
We all know you have a fucking Rihanna stan
You have
account. Let's
fans.
not lie. We all know. We all know. We all know. It's okay.
Actually, that's also a very fun role for flavor. At this point, you guys are kind of famous, so anyone who, or like not super famous, but kind of, I would like all three of you to just roll me a d10 plus, let's say plus 3 as your rep of just being known people.
Flat D10 coming in. Another 3.
Roll D10. 10!
Lynx, roll me another 10.
Okay. Another 10!
Congratulations, you are the most famous out of all.
So, I think part of this is that you are a hacker, and hackers tend to share information about what they do much more explicitly. Not how you did it, but what you did. So, like, you hacked Arasaka goons in a way that no one thought was possible. And you didn't tell them how you did it, so as far as people are concerned, you reached into someone's brain and shut it off. Like, they don't know that there was, like, some secret backdoor, that there was their security bullshit. They think you just hacked people's cyberware straight up, which is just unheard of at this point.
Pretty fucking metal, gotta say.
And you know, maybe you got some help from Dion, or maybe not. You get to decide until like how you presented this, but you managed to just like give just enough information that people are currently attempting to like figure out how you did it, and no one is close. Fox, I think that this role is more of your reputation outside of the political sphere. You're still like a known fixer, but like your political like movement is almost overshadowing that.
Wonderful.
It's like kind of becoming a side note in a way that you're like, huh. Because like your speech of "I'm running for mayor" was so much higher that I think that's a bigger part of your reputation.
Huh.
It's maybe working to your favor though.
Yeah, that's just... Huh. I don't know how I feel about that, though. I mean, it's helpful, certainly, just... Huh.
I blew all of my 10s.
What do I do with that?
I'm also rolling for, oh yeah, Dion has been pretty quiet in the background comparatively. I mean, he's still
Doing
known, it's like, he still has a reputation, but yeah, Doc with the 10, it's definitely still more in like this part of the community, especially South Night City, but like a lot of the combat zone and a lot of like the college age kids and even a little bit into the Glen. Yeah, you're known as this just like very effective doctor who, if you decide to get on the wrong side of, it's not great, but you're also just generally considered like, it's kind of hard to get on the wrong side of you. Really. You kind of have to try. It's just a lot of people have been trying recently. But anyways, yeah, and so then I would like to get back to Lynx. I think it actually takes like a day or so for D to come in, so it's not like immediately the next morning, but eventually you get D and Oryx in like sort of the same digital space, and you can choose if it is full dive or if it's like an augmented reality sort of setup projecting into the room. You can describe the space that you meet them in.
Lynx is gonna go for full dive for this, and let Oryx pick like the background and everything, because like,
Okay.
you know, it's technically his node, so.
Yeah, in that case, it's sort of, you've known your brother to have a certain sense of the dramatic before, and this AI version is not that much different. He has made a sort of glass box with glass furniture that is almost perfectly see-through, that is sort of floating over the old net, and you get to see, like, again, a really good look at this old infrastructure. A lot of the way that people built the visual aspect of the old net was meant to mirror Night City, but it was Night City before, you know, the Corpo War, or at least right in the early stages of it. So it looks significantly more grand, or at least it used to look significantly more grand than the city you know now. There's no mega structures. All of the hot zone is back to its original glory. The problem is that, as you know, there's been, you know, all these rogue killer programs that were released on the net, and that's kind of why it broke down. Like, any netrunner who goes there is immediately hunted down and attacked. It's basically like demons, but for the whole thing, and on steroids. So a lot of like the building structures, like the visual structures, are not exactly doing great. Like these demons have they have a little more self-actualization than a regular one. They are kind of real AI. They have sort of rearranged a lot of stuff, and it doesn't look like physical destruction of a building. It's like a digital fuzz, like pieces moved this way or up, or like blocked out in weird ways.
Or like they're like sideways somehow randomly.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't obey physics, but it does still look big and dramatic. And in fact, there is a certain draw distance depending on sort of your hardware. But you can see off in the distance, like off into the wasteland, there are other like digital structures, because there used to be a lot more net across the whole country. And so,
like maybe off the distance, there's like some like ruins of a city or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Both to the north and the south, but mostly to the east, it looks like. There used to be a whole set of infrastructure going east coast to west coast, all the way across. You could hack, something on the east coast from your bedroom, used to be.
Wow.
Just not so much anymore. It's a bad idea. Anyways, so this is the room that they build, and D eventually steps in. And I've described him before, but he looks a lot like the security guy Dumas. He's like a tall guy. He's pretty physically built, bald head. The difference being is he dresses entirely different. Dumas is a military guy. He's generally wearing like civilian equivalent of fatigues and like belts with guns and ammo and things on. He's like a dude you don't want to fuck with. Whereas D dresses quite stylishly. You think he's picked up a little bit from just being at this club. It's like a suit vest that instead of regular pinstripes are like hologram pinstripes going down it. His tie is also this holographic thing. And he's doing this in virtual reality, so he's only giving the appearance of that. Like, it's all aesthetic here. But that's like the aesthetic he's picked up. It's like the kind of suit you wear if you're wealthy and you're trying to impress people at a club. And he also just has a very different demeanor. He seems confident, but is like bright and sunny, and he's just like interested. And as he enters, and Oryx is there, and actually, what does Lynx look like in full VR? Generally,
I mean,
is it just you?
I mean, like, so, I guess, like, Lynx isn't going in as Scath right now, or at least they're not in, like,
Yeah.
Scath, the hacker, whatever.
Yeah, her hacker name.
Yeah, so she, I mean, this is full VR, she's just gonna dress comfortably, so, like, probably, like, so, like a comfortable jacket, right, maybe some jeans, but, like, otherwise, like, she doesn't care, she's barefoot, like, completely barefoot.
Yeah.
like a nice comfy shirt. Like she's not gonna be able to feel it or anything, but like like easy movement.
It's casual for her though.
Yeah.
And I think Oryx, when he's not, he also sort of has a hacker persona when he's trying to pass as a regular netrunner. That is very much this like guy in this like very complicated Oryx mask with like the horns and everything. But normally he's just got like, I don't know, like a black V-neck T-shirt and like black pants. But it all kind of like blends into one thing, so there's not a lot of detail. It doesn't look like a one-piece thing, but it kind of could be. Like, it's shadowy, it's vague, because it's not really his physical body anymore. But anyways, as D enters, Oryx was just explaining to you, it's like, you might want to take point in asking him before I explain why it's a problem, because I'd like to have him answer for himself. And I think he'll respond to you better. And so Oryx is just sort of like standing behind you, and D comes in. He's very excited just to talk to you, and I want to also know, what did you tell him about this meeting? Or were you just like, hey, we need to talk about AI? Because I think that's the last thing you said to him.
I believe so. Like, well, I know we were talking about like, hey, like, do you want to set up a meeting with like AI in general? And like, we kind of.
Yeah. So did you tell him that's this meeting?
I believe so. Well, I don't.
Okay.
Just like a meeting in general.
Choose.
I think Lynx would have said like, this, because she's not good at subtle. Let's be real. She's not, unless you're cutting code. But like, she's not good at subtle. So I think she just like outright told him like, I mean, tried to encrypt it, but like, just like outright told him this is the meeting. Like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's extremely excited, and as he sort of like enters in, and like he runs to you and like grabs your hand in two-handed handshake, like, thank you so much for setting this up. This is amazing. And then very quickly to, Oryx is like, hi, my name is D. I'm one of you, I guess. And Oryx tries not to be like very like touched and endeared by that, but is like, hi, I'm Oryx. Before we really get down to that, we need to ask you some things. And he sort of nods to you.
So, what exactly is this game that you've been playing with Cheshire?
D sort of stops for a second. It's like, I don't know exactly what that has to do with this, but I don't know. The point of it is not letting other... It might be sensitive information for him if I'd said a lot, and I don't want to betray his trust too much. What I'm going to have you do is roll me some persuasion if you want him to answer, or tell me what you were about to say. Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt.
Oh, but like, I was just going to say, like, oh, you're not, like, it's like, don't, like, you don't have to, like, but it's like you're not betraying anything about, like, you know, Cheshire, right? Like you can even leave out like specific names. We're just wondering, like maybe some of like can you tell us like any details about like the game that you've been playing without maybe anything that has to do specifically with Cheshire? Because if it's not anything specifically with Cheshire, then you're fine.
Well, I don't know that it's about him. The game is about him, though. It would be difficult to describe much of it. We had an argument, or I guess a friendly debate over who is better at hacking between me and him. I've really been studying everyone's methods here in Night City that I can, yours included, and I'm very impressed with them. In an attempt to learn more about how to manipulate the world that I live in, the sort of digital space. And that argument started, and then he gave me a goal that is maybe somewhat personal to him, as sort of a challenge. It's something he hadn't been able to do that I think I could do. But I can't really say much more without... I don't know. I don't want to give away.
Okay. Is the goal something that you're able to talk about?
Yep. If you would like to get more out of him, I think you'll need to roll persuasion. He's like, yeah, it's kind of involved.
It's like, well, some of the like, and Lynx is just gonna like talk about is like because we're just a little concerned about like say, what kind of things you might have been looking into, and like Lynx is terrible persuasion, so I mean she's gonna try.
Oryx is going to sort of help and back you up, and when you describe how you persuade him, I'll just add that. But so you can get an extra plus 3. He's not amazing at it, but he's a little cooler.
Two socially awkward siblings trying to persuade somebody to talk. 15, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess we're worried about what you're looking into. Was there anything else you wanted to add to that?
I mean, so Lynx is more concerned about like so Lynx is gonna say like about like I guess like which companies, because like and is trying to impress upon like
okay
on like the dangers of hacking into companies, because Lynx has been fucking with Arasaka since like well since Arasaka fell, right, and Oryx disappeared.
Yeah.
So but like even she's not going to.
Life.
Yeah, so, but like even she's not crazy enough to do like the kind of hacking that like D has been doing, and especially since it's traceable, right? It's like very like kind of like I guess like trying to explain I guess like we've been finding traces of your work, right, in various in various corporate networks, and like that's dangerous, right? This is something that like we need to talk about, and I think she's gonna like and well she'll hold that card. There's another card that like Lynx has that she might hold.
Yeah. I think that you describe it like, look, you're being traceable and it could be dangerous, and Dee's like,
dangerous to Cheshire is what I think she's gonna say. Like it's dangerous, not just dangerous to you, but might be dangerous to Cheshire if they can trace it back.
And I think Dee's first reaction to that is very much like, I mean, we are well protected. I mean, I don't know how much you know about the Red Queen, but she's very good at being covering her back, and so it's sort of this safer area. And as he brings that up, it's Oryx who steps in. He's like, I don't think you understand. It's not just dangerous for you and them. If these companies find out it's an AI, you can endanger all of us, the people who are AI like you. So we do need to know more. And I think that's like that extra thing that gets over the edge, because 12 is not enough, but 15 is. Dee's like taken aback, and he hadn't even, he's like, I hadn't considered that. As long as we don't make this a thing that everyone knows, it would maybe be sensitive. I don't know that I want Cheshire to know that I've been saying this, but
Bro?
He's been looking at. He used to be King Caterpillar. When I first met Cheshire, he didn't have a history older than a few years, and that was maybe 5 years ago. He had just started working for Red, and I was curious, and I looked into it and couldn't find anything, and that has been his challenge. When he hacked Militech, he disrupted all of their equipment, he turned off some of their heavy artillery, their guns, he ran circles around them. They started coming after him hard, and he had to hide. But he was paid to do that, and he never figured out who. He says he could figure out if he just knew what it was Militech was actually doing there. But he couldn't. He's never been able to get in. They definitely beefed up their security after that event, and the rest of the Corpo War, obviously. So I'm trying to find that out.
King Caterpillar shut down, like, and Lynx is like, I guess is like going back to remembering about. Actually, does Lynx need to roll anything for like remembering like King Caterpillar's exploits?
I mean, if you want me to answer that, if you remember the things that I've said before in notes, but there's not a lot in there, so you can just roll me some. Yeah.
Yeah, just like
because it's not that relevant, but.
Yeah, because Lynx remembers like, okay, base of operations seemed to be Central America. There was this was from 2020 to 2038.
Mm-hmm. You can roll me education if you would like to just how much you would remember or know.
Okay, and like, was this like around the time that like they basically shut down like the old net? 17, by the way.
17. All right. Yeah. So, like, the old net sort of died much earlier than the event you're talking about. It's been like 20-something years since the net broke down. You haven't lived in a world with that net. Or at least the net started breaking down. It's been like a while. The event happened much more recently than that, and it was this big deal of like, oh, this guy who's been hacking since before the net collapsed still seems to have this impossible reach. But King Caterpillar really just messed with everyone constantly. He was just this like amazing, dramatic hacker who also used a lot of these holograms in VR to like project images to make it extremely clear. I did this. Fuck you.
Like,
this is stuff that you're thinking about. You're like, that seems like Cheshire. Yeah, Chester would do that. He's just definitely matured and is less of a obnoxious shit about it. You're also doing the math. That would have made Chester like 15 when he did that to Militech. And that means he probably started hacking when he was like a child.
This guy's a genius.
He's definitely this like super early precocious hacker. So you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, that's what D is looking into.
And it fits with his current personality, too.
I think you can quickly bring up, like, images he left, and definitely he's done a lot of work to hide he's the same person visually. Like, he completely changed his art style, he completely changed his, like, name, his targets, everything. With that roll, though, I think you would know that King Caterpillar has actually shown up again in a few places, but it's, like, very sporadic around the world, and you don't know if it's, like, a copycat or if it's him.
Huh. Okay. But it's a little concerning that he was paid to shut down Militech.
Like, yeah, that's wasn't really his normal MO, but he tended to hide high target, like high value targets that needed to be sent a message. in his regular workings. It was kind of part of his real way he paid for everything, is if he does big dramatic hackings for no reason, then the ones that have a reason can be subtle.
Right, but that doesn't. If that didn't fit his MO, then why did he go through with it?
They paid him a lot of money. At least as far as he's told me, and this is still de-docking, at least as far as he's told me, that he did that every once in a while. Probably every year or so, one of his hacks would be something paid for. This was just much bigger and in a much more dangerous location. He's shown me a few scars that he got from that event. It was far more close range than he was used to.
And like Lynx is not like the best at human, I guess, like understanding like understanding other human beings, but like that's kind of suspicious to her. She thinks like, especially with Cheshire's kind of MO, right? Like at least from what she understands from Cheshire, right? He's the kind of person who, yeah, he'd fuck with someone, right? And he'd probably do something for money, right? But she couldn't imagine any kind of reason that he'd be close in and physically on the front, which is what she imagined. Like, no reason for him to be on there unless somebody managed to, one, find him physically, and two, like, give him incentive beyond money.
This is true. And I think if you express that, he's like, well, I mean, maybe he was a different person then. More willing to take risks. He's definitely not what he seems like now. I'm gonna say that's a very good insight, so you don't have to like roll any sort of insight or stuff. It's like, yeah, that's definitely not the person that you know. He's significantly more careful than that. Unless he was dramatically different, maybe this event made him more careful, but that does seem, you were right to be suspicious.
Yeah, like what the hell would somebody have on someone like Cheshire to get him to do that? And that's concerning for Lynx.
He was completely anonymous at the time. It's the only reason they couldn't find him. It's entirely possible someone found out who he was, and he made a lot of enemies, doing a lot of things for fun.
So maybe he's looking to figure out who's maybe sold him out, or found out who he is. This is a problem. Well, I don't think you'll be finding anything about this on Militech servers is the issue.
Well, we could find out what they were there for, and hopefully that will help him.
It's like, oh, that's... And Lynx is gonna try to dissuade him from that approach, right? And just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, Militech has... like, if she compares, like, Militech, tech security compared to, like, Arasaka's tech security, right, would you say like Militech is probably like probably a lot more?
At least operating the U.S., yes, because this is like their base of operations. If you tried to hack Arasaka HQ like in Japan, it would be a completely different story. You don't think you would be ready for that, but
right.
They're clandestine operations that just don't have the kind of resources and setup and like ability.
Right.
Are much easier than anything Militech is going to have here.
Right. So Lynx is like, one, it's definitely like, it's like not to knock on your abilities because you are an AI and I am a being of flesh.
I'm just a fleshy human.
I am a fleshy human, but Militech has how do we put it? Incredibly dangerous defenses, and you can't. No one can anticipate all of them. Just like not like I wouldn't like not to knock you or big bro, but like that's like I wouldn't like bro. Would you risk hacking into Militech?
I think Oryx does think now is time to step in now that you know more about it. He's like, look, I think it's possible to for someone like us, but we need to be significantly more careful when doing it. And generally, if I were going to do it, I would get support from other AI. Other of my friends. Doing it alone. Exactly. You can only focus on so many things, even as an AI, even splitting your attention. There's only so much you can do.
Yep.
You still have to... And I think he and Oryx, like, he steps a little closer to Oryx, like, look, if this is something you really think you have to do for your friend, I understand. But you need to be more careful. And if we can find out more about it without attacking Militech, in the end we still have to, I can help. I can help at least to keep you safe. And at least to keep your nature secret from Militech. I'm sorry to say that's the thing I'm most worried about.
Yeah, and some tricks too. Like Oryx knows how to disguise himself as a
hacker,
fleshling pretty well.
Fleshling. It's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, okay, I understand. I think that maybe I should take a step back and plan things out a little more carefully. If it's going to hurt people outside of the ones I can protect. And yeah, if you have anything else you want to ask him, but I think that's sort of that part of the conversation.
I mean, Lynx is concerned about like this. I mean, who the hell can blackmail Cheshire is the thing, right? So like Lynx is, if you find anything about this that might require a more physical presence on site, I think I'll be able to swing something with the group.
And I think it's Oryx is like, well, mostly it would be very helpful if you look into this this facility that you guys are going to go see.
Like,
I think that might be related at least somewhat.
Yeah. Did you catch anything? Because Lynx is actually, because she does have the data from Spider right now. She can she pull up the data she got from Spider about specifically the factory and like and she'll like throw it up in the world and like talk about like so my new friend Spider, this might be a good lead for us on the trail of those who've been missing, because two of his he observed two of your friends, I think, at the factory that he appropriated, and they disappeared when this when the entire factory went down.
Yeah, you bring this data up, and he looks at it, and it's like I said before, it's this extremely detailed recording of just like every command digitally that is happening, every tiny adjustment, and it is just like, again, this black wave of things, just like, nope, off, turned off, nothing. It's quite sinister, you think, to someone who is made of those commands.
Yeah, that's.
But it does have a certain record. Yeah, it does have a recording of the AI who were there, and just like the way that AI are built, it's very easy for them to sort of obscure what they are and how they're operating. It's not like a picture; it is a bunch of various commands that you almost have to highlight the ones to be able to say this is an AI. It's not cleaned or visually represented data. But as you look through, Oryx is looking very closely at one of these AI, and I think he very subtly and under his breath, he's just like, I think that's 05. I think this is a little louder. I think this is one of my friends. Yeah, it's actually, I think this is one of the AI spin-offs of the original Oryx. Of your brother. It's not me. It's not a perfect copy. They made a lot of partial ones. This is, I believe, a lot of his skill in hacking specifically, which is why 05 is one of the people we send out into the field. Doesn't really have a lot of my personality, my memories, just those skills.
I mean,
we don't.
Lynx is just gonna like elbow Oryx's points, like you're still. All parts of you are still my big brother. So.
Oh yeah, I consider 05 a sibling, basically. It's very much an AI thing of like, oh yeah, we're from the same person. We have a lot of fractional memories together. But yeah, this is worrying. 05 is very, very good at getting out of places, and it looks like they got surprised. And he's like looking very close at this data, and it's like, and he's trying to interpret. It's like, I just don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know exactly. It's like they were having a conversation, these two, and I don't recognize the other one. I mean, I don't know every AI. I can go check. I can sort of show this around and see if anyone amongst the AI recognized them, but...
Alright. Well, bro, we're gonna go over to that factory in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you might have an easier time because you're physical. You can jack out more quickly before something bad happens, you can also... The attack here looks like it's an exploit that AI have that you won't have. It's a weakness that will be able to turn me off, but not you. It'll probably hurt if you get hit by it. Don't get it twisted, but it's not horrible. It won't be horrible for you. So I think you'd do best if you went without me or a D.
Okay. All right. If I leave you with this data, do you think there's anything? Do you think you'll be able to send me anything in 2 weeks?
Possibly. I'm going to see what I can find.
All right. So I guess Lynx will just plop this data over to Oryx and.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's sort of the end of that. You guys can like chat a little more, but that's really the end of the scene.
Okay.
I would like you to roll me 2 hustle rolls though, before we move on.
All right. I don't know if Lynx is gonna have is gonna do a hustle. I think we have.
If there's something else you want to do, you can definitely do that.
Okay, because Lynx is like a list of stuff that she wants to do, and she's not gonna worry about the hustle while she's doing it. The first one is
Okay, go for it.
so the first one is setting up the net architecture that she got, and hooking it up to observational cameras in neon lights. That way, like they can have like so she can have visual data on what's going on in neon lights and also around the apartment for security.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing she wants to do is to data crunch the stuff that Spider sent her on who's been blackmailing Doc.
Doc?
Yeah, so
Although I think you guys already kind of figured that out. That's the King of Spades that Fox has a history with.
Right.
But if you want to get to know more about it, yeah.
Yeah, well, she was thinking of like setting up like a node to do like I guess recordings, like data crunching, like one, the observational cameras, and 2, what's going on in with the data that Spider gave her. So let the nodes do that for her. So she, like over the 2 weeks.
Yeah. Then roll me some. I think security tech would be right, but if you want to pitch another skill,
I'll take security tech.
Okay.
18.
18. Yeah, the setting up the architecture does take you like a week, and it's a while. And then the data crunching is sort of still happening. You do get some things you're pretty sure you don't know the name of, but you could identify the signature of who actually set up this very sophisticated like phone virus. Because it has a very specific signature, and there's no way that this guy, this King of Spades, is smart enough to do it. That's just not. He's a big beefy dude, not a tech guy.
Yep. So Lynx will be able to know that, and then the last thing Lynx wants to do is set up that stealth tech camo.
Aha. Yeah. I'd say roll me the same thing, the security tech.
Okay. This time Lynx is gonna use her tech scanner, so.
Yeah.
20 plus 2 from the tech scanner.
20. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly how much stealth I said that this would get you, but you get it pretty good. This thing is, you made this program that's basically cameras identifying around you and just imitating colors using holograms in a way that looks like negative depth, basically. It's this sort of complicated hologram stuff. I think you get a little bit of help from Enzo, who's just a little better with like physical tech to understand exactly the programming you have to do, but between it, I want to say, yeah, when you have this on and active, you do have to remember to put it active, but when you want to be stealthy, you can get like a good +5, +6 to this, to stealth.
Okay. Great. Awesome. All right,
So, yeah, that's going to take the rest of the week, too. So, and then last thing, before we go on break, Fox, you have yourself a rally to get to.
Oh, right, that's a thing. Huh? Alright. Work me through it, boss.
So this is maybe a few days before the end of the 2-week period. It's pretty much just like this the tail end here, and it's in the Watson development up to the north. Now, the Watson development is significantly nicer than the vast majority of places that you have ever actually lived. You don't even really walk through places like this. It's purposely away from stuff. It's not like an executive zone where everyone has like a whole ton of security, but because it's a rally, there are, police forces present. There's also the people I can't remember that come in and really decimate stuff. What are they called?
no, it's assuming trauma team, right? But the Max team or whatever they called.
Yeah, they're the sort of their general job is to go after dangerous cyber psychos, but they also are the ones you call in when like real serious shit is going down.
Yeah.
You can. And how do you arrive to this? Yeah, it's like the Psycho Squad. It's just basically it's the SWAT of this world. And I can find them in a second. But more importantly, Fox, how do you decide to arrive to this?
Totally.
You have a nice new car.
I would I like my car a lot, but I'm gonna leave the car as a personal business car for business things. And instead, what I'm gonna do is we'll figure out how much this costs if you want at some point. But I think I'm definitely gonna like hire out a driver, like a decent size. I'm like a full limo setup. That's a bit opulent, even for my taste. But like a car with a decently secured back, partitions, bulletproof windows, the whole setup I can get. Just a nice little seats in the back, 4 or 5 people in there. And if assuming it's cool, I'd probably want the rest of the gang with me, even if like y'all stay in the car or whatever. I just would like y'all to be there. But yeah, just kind of like in the car, Fox is like just constantly checking over his suit, just like I don't know, Kat, how do I look? Am I good?
Mariah's in the car with you specifically, and Dion. Everyone else who wants to come can be there. Yeah. I think Dion also brings Tess, who's just kind of acting as like a secretary, like a secretary-ish thing for him.
Yeah,
just
I'm cool with that. Secretary,
take notes.
And all that. Yeah, of course.
And Tess is probably a little more good at physical fighting than she lets on, just considering she is one of these people who's been like physically enhanced. But as you're doing that, Mariah's like, "You look fine. You actually look good." I think the suit is something that you bought with your own money. The car is rented via like funds from this campaign, so it's not really a problem.
Campaign
just because it's
we love those. We love a campaign expense.
Do you like the idea of holographic tie or nah?
Why not? Why the hell not? Go with the holographic tie. I'll take it.
You almost asked out Jessica for marriage.
Please don't remind me of that.
Yeah.
I got a lot younger and a lot dumber.
Did you want Jess to be there?
Oh God, yeah, sure, why not?
That's good.
Yes.
Anyways,
yeah.
So,
why not?
Jess and Reyna are here. This is probably the safest you're going to be at this place. Mariah especially is like, look, they can't send an assassin after you here when we have SWAT here. Like, that's not a good idea. There's a billion cameras. And so, yeah, you pull up in this nice limo, and everyone who wants to be there can be there. They're kind of your entourage. I think there's quite a few photos of you and Jess and Reyna, especially. You have your people behind you.
Good poses in,
Yeah. I think a lot of people ask, and if you want to answer specifically, but you can have other people answer, like, just details about who you and Jess are collectively and family stuff. It's nothing serious yet.
I think just tepidly, I think... Oh, God, yeah, you know what? I'm doing this. Fuck it. Yeah, like, he kind of, like, at first he's kind of, like, just taking questions tepidly, trying his best to kind of, like, do vague political stuff. But if people kind of, like, ask more personally about the two of them, he'll definitely pick up Reyna and just go, well, this is my daughter, Reyna, and she's very happy to meet you all. You'll give her a moment to wave. And then he'll look back, and without looking at any of the rest of them, just look very deliberately at Jess and just say, and that's her mother, the woman I love, Jessica.
She's kind of touched by it, but she's trying not to, like, be in, like, that
obviously.
noticed by the cameras. It's very much for you. And that's all the questions before you are sort of sat backstage.
Yeah, and I'll hand her back to Jess and just, like, keep
yeah, it's just you.
Yeah.
I think that's where Tess and Dion sort of split. Tess stays with them, Dion stays with you. Mm-hmm. Mariah's kind of running around as a stage manager for you, interacting with the actual stage manager. There's quite a few seats back here, like they could have a much bigger thing, but it seems like this is just... There's you, there's one other politician that you're not familiar with that, after asking, they are running for the representative of the Little Europe area.
Oh.
And also, Snake Miner. There's like 30 chairs here, and he has picked the one farthest from you.
Of course, makes sense.
And he's like very pointedly not looking at you. He has several security people on him. I would like you to roll me either perception or human perception.
I'm gonna go with the humankind because I'm better at it. Here it comes.
You nat 1.
Did it roll? It didn't roll. No, there it goes. 16.
16. Yeah, so you can look at this other politician who just seems like he's like nervously looking back between you guys, like he's in the crossfire a little, and he's very nervous, obviously. But what you notice about Stink Miner is that he's like not looking at you, but his security people are talking, and they're like, several of them are looking back at the car that Stink Miner came from that's like back and behind, and you can see there's someone over there, and they'd like look at the car and then look at you, and look at the car, and you're like, they got someone in there. They got someone in there that has something to do with me? Question mark? It's sort of the thought in your head.
So yeah, I think what Fox is gonna do is he's gonna just like he'll stretch a little bit. He definitely looks nervous, but he'll just like, all right, kid, in the zone. He'll stand up. He'll look over into the tunes. Gentlemen, I look forward to spirited debate in the future. And he'll look over. He'll actually pointedly walk, kind of like not directly over to Stinky, but kind of like in between the two other candidates. He'll look over and just say, Jonathan, representing the same district, I look forward to certainly some tepid conversation between the two of us. I'm glad you could be here.
He has a smile like a man who definitely believes he's about to stab you. He's at a distance, so he's not going to, but just like that sort of... Likewise, Fox.
Best Fox works. Noticed a couple of your guys keep peeking over at that car, though. Call it a Fox's curiosity.
Yes, it's, You've mentioned debate. Today is not going to be that. It's just us giving speeches to the crowd. He's someone that I think will be an excellent character witness for me, you might say.
Cryptic. I like. Maybe missed the memo on character witnesses. I didn't bother to bring one, but I'll
it's
improvise.
just a speech.
No,
It's
of course.
just a speech.
I've got a speech ready. Don't bother. Have we figured out the order of our appearances, gentlemen, or are we just winging that?
I would love you, Fox, to roll me a luck roll to see. And then if it's... I'm going to say if it's above 15... No, if it's above 12, you can pick.
Okay, I got 7 luck points, and you know what? We're bringing out the click clacks, folks. We're bringing out the GM set of click clacks, all right? The GM set has been brought out. It's not even... Oh, yeah, we're not playing around. I have not used these dice in... Fuck, almost a year. I just recently refound them. Here we go. Let's see. Come on, don't fail me, babies.
What'd you get? Wow! Roll it again!
The GM dice never fail, okay? All right, that's a 4. We'll take a 4 on that one. Yeah, of course not crit. It's the GM dice. I only bring them out for special occasions, goddammit. Exactly. Which is why I haven't used them in almost a year. By the way, look out for next 7 Sons.
Oh, no.
Anyways, I mean, we did shoot a king, so... Anyways, not important, different game. Yeah, so you can pick the order. In fact, I think you see Mariah come up and is like, they haven't selected an order yet, actually. This thing's about to start. And I know the person running this. I think I can convince them.
You know, I thought initially that having the 2 candidates from South Night City go back to back would be a wonderful round of spirited debate, but Jonathan here has made it very clear the purpose here is just speeches, so may I happily give the crowd some space. So, I say we put our distant candidate from Little Europe here right in the middle of us two, and because I'm feeling generous, why don't our dear Jonathan go first? You don't have a problem with that, right, Jonathan? And he'll just look at him and just give, again, just that really, really smug-ass dagger smirk.
Yeah. There is the slightest bit of, like, twitch as he's like, sure.
Wonderful.
And it's like, all right, and Mariah and then this other stage manager come up and they're like, all right, so the order is going to be Mr. Stankminer, then it's going to be Mr. Stereo. It is Raymond Stereo is the other guy's name.
Of course!
Because that's something the chat came up with that they didn't have a use for that I have written down here.
Pretty sure that was me shitposting.
It was great,
Probably, but I'm not here
with
to
me.
judge.
but it's too late. It's canon.
Mr. Stereo, and then Mr. Fox.
Rick, leg out
And so, anyways, there's a little bit of music, not really to your taste, but it's like very general, like fanfare stuff. You don't even have a real band. It's fine. And then someone announces like the order. This is here for like the candidates to sort of give you a flavor, a style of who they are. This is just like one of a few. They're gonna have a few more for other candidates around. This is just like the earliest one. I think it's probably sponsored by Danger Girl, their investigation company that is well known in the city, which is maybe odd, but sure. But that means there's a lot of reporters. And yeah, they announced that Jonathan Stankminer is going to come up first, and then you see the car door open, and you recognize who this is.
Oh no.
Fox. I don't know that anyone else does.
Is there like an image coming up? Should I move my character sheet?
No.
Okay.
Because I didn't make an image for this because you haven't given me a description of them.
Right. I totally about to do that.
You see someone you haven't seen since you were in prison.
Oh no.
One Al Harris. He steps out of the car, and he is looking daggers at you. He seems to have like cleaned up pretty good. He's wearing a moderately good suit, and then he sort of stands next to the stage, like just off stage behind something, where he can't be seen as Snake Miner comes up and talks. You can choose to listen specifically to what Snake Miner says, or try and engage Al.
I think I'm just gonna. Fuck. I'm gonna go more for Al here. I'm not going for a super hard engage, but I do want to just quick check in with him real quick.
Yeah, you're allowed to walk up to him. I think at a certain distance you can see him like physically tense up.
Hey, I'll stop at like a good space, like I'm not close like up to him. I'll stop just in a conversational space, but not like like not intimate space. I'll just Al.
Fox.
Been a bit, huh?
Yeah.
You're looking better. Glad you got out.
Yeah, it took me a little longer.
Guess some of us get lucky, huh?
Yeah, he twitches a little at that. He's like, yeah. I don't know what you want to say.
Nothing. Just wanted to see you up close. Good luck up there, alright?
I don't know what you think I'm here for,
I didn't
but
mean
it's not for
I didn't
me.
mean here.
All right.
Keep your head down, kid, alright? I'll shoot him a wink and I'll just turn and walk away. Won't even wait for acknowledgement or anything.
So, did you want to, I don't know, try and persuade him to soften his opinion of you with this, or is this just to sort of engage with? Okay.
I just want to engage with him. Just get a quick vibe check on him. That's all.
Yeah. So, if you want to roll me regular perception to see what you pick up Snake Miner's speech while this happens.
Sure. Let me get my character sheet back up. Hiya! That is a 16. It's actually a pretty good roll for me.
That's actually still pretty good. So you were listening, and he spends some amount of time. You think you pretty sure just talking about like, yes, I've served for this long, and like. I think a lot of his speech is focused on how he's like contained South Night City. It's like, look, I put a lot of this work into making sure that these violent, dangerous gangs that are the main like inhabitants of this area are not like leaving this area of the city, and that I'm helping people like physically leave the area. You also know that last part's a little bullshit, but you know,
Okay.
it's a program you can do to move, but the move is directly to a corpo like mega structure.
That's all right. That's the rhetoric I need him to go with. That's good.
And then he does this like odd turn. Is like, this is not the place for speaking ill of one's opponents. However, I do believe that there is maybe an exception, as I've not often had one running against me. Bold politics called for bold changes. So I'd like to introduce a man by the name of Al, up on stage. Al Harris. And yeah, he starts walking on stage.
I can't say I never saw this coming.
And there's like some murmuring, and like the stage manager is like maybe going to intervene, but stage miner's like security guards basically just step in front of her and go,
Is Mariah near me?
yeah.
I'll tell her to let him go. Just like...
Yeah, well, no, Mariah doesn't stop. The stage manager was...
No, I'll tell Mariah to go, like, stop your stage manager. Like, tell her, like, go let him through.
Yeah. Yeah, the security guards like block her, and then Mariah just like on the stage manager's shoulder, like, it's fine. And yeah, so Al steps up and is like a very stiff hello. He's never been like a very good public speaker. He's not a personable like. You knew our illustrious potential mayor of South Night City before, did you not? Like, yes. As someone who knew him personally, we won't get into any sort of political attacks. Just, what do you think he will do a good job? What is your opinion of him? And Al like has this long pause. As you can tell, he's trying to collect himself. This is way more people than he is comfortable talking to, you would know. And he just kind of leans in a little and is, I wish that Fox would die.
Okay, well,
And if it's okay with you guys, I think that we could take a break now and then jump in on what Fox's response to that is.
I'm perfectly
Before
fine
moving
with
on to the
that.
rest of the game. All right. Thank you guys for joining us so far. We're going to take ourselves a quick little break. And yeah. We'll see how this goes.
I don't know why I'm pointing so hard anyway. Yeah, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Take us away!
Yeah.
Ah.
Stream manager, we shall disappear.
Bye, big guys. Be safe.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yo, yo!
How's it going?
You and your.
Why are you both princess waving? I'm so
I did
confused.
this.
I looked over, you were both just doing this, and I'm like, what? Why is this happening? Aw, shit. Music swap. Hold up. Music swap. This is serious.
Yeah.
Shit is serious now.
The other one is called a safer district, and I feel like, no, this isn't a safe
We are no longer
location
safe.
for Foxy.
Nothing is safe.
Nothing.
Side Escape is cool as shit, and you guys ought to check it out, all the people in chat. It's been very helpful and cool.
Hashtag non-sponsored content.
Yeah, we don't even
sponsor us.
Hit us up, Sirenscape. We'll talk.
We will put your logo on fucking everything if you.
Literally, it was right
sponsor
there,
us.
right in the corner, just right there. See that corner
I will
on
make
top?
a T-shirt. I will make a T-shirt that is reversed so it looks correct on stream.
I mean it. We'll do it. Hit us up. We'll talk. DM
Want
us.
to
Anyway.
see what sponsoring us looks like? Google the sad stream.
No, wait, no,
Oh
not,
no! Don't do that.
Not that clip.
Don't
It was
do
the one
that.
time it was. Okay, never mind. We'll talk about that later. The sad stream was the one time me, Dan, and Lucian were on chat while Lucian was streaming. We were all just like really fucking depressed and just like going off and memeing about it the whole time. It was great. It's like a 9-minute clip Lucian has. You have to watch it. Anyway, just let's go. We're taking it back in.
Anywho, so just before break, Stickminer brought someone on stage that Foxy knows and no one in the audience or any fellow players really know, named Al. And the last thing he said is that he wishes Foxy would die.
He does.
In a few moments, as people are a little
In there.
rambunctious about that, they seem quite surprised, especially because this isn't meant to be a place to have like a serious debate attack ad kind of thing. Stinkminer sort of just passed down, it's like, we won't spend time at trying to denigrate each other here. That's not what this is for. But any reporter here that wishes to, can starting now, may interview Mr. Al here, Mr. Al Harris, on his experience and opinions of the other candidate, Fox, and their relationship and how they know each other in the future. And I look forward to letting everyone in Night City know about it. And it says, thank you. And yeah, he walks off stage. Al, like, kind of makes a beeline for the car. You see for a moment that, like, the security guys are behind him. And there's, like, this split moment where he stops. And he, like, his shoulders are tense. And then he moves forward. And I think, Fox, you'd be very familiar. It's like, oh, yeah, no, this man really wants to just do violence right here. But for some reason is being held back.
Sounds about right.
And, and Stinkminer just sort of sits down in the seat he was in before, like, hands, like, up in front of him in his lap, just, like, very pleased with himself.
Oh, he's smug.
Just,
Yeah. This Fox will just lean back, just like, cute. And as the second candidate, as our Mr. Stereo's going up, Fox will kind of just flag down a secretary or worker, probably the cutest one he can find nearby. Just flag her over. Just, honey, you mind if I smoke back here?
she's like, oh, no, not at all.
Wonderful. Have a good day. Blow her a kiss, and just and just kind of carry on. Not even look at Stinky, just not even mind. Just
Yeah. I think it's the stage manager specifically that you flagged down because she's sort of like interacting with Mariah and seems quite nervous. And you being very polite to her, she feels relaxed. She was worried that you would be like really mad that this happened, and now you're just like, yeah, it's fine. Really helps her. Mariah seems to be eyeing Stinkminer and his security guys like very closely. I think she like whispers to Dion, and they like position themselves in a very specific place to protect you if shit goes down.
I will let.
Yeah, it's fine.
Assuming that like I can get within like earshot of Mariah at some time during this. Like,
She's pretty close to you, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll look at her and just very very calmly just say, "Yosha," which no one else here knows, but it's a Maori phrase that basically just means like peace.
Yeah.
And which she would know because Fox and her are both Maori, and it's one of the only things you remember of his native language. Same for me.
She definitely nods and like, I'm not worried about you. And she sort of looks to the car where Al still is. It would be nice if you told me you have enemies that are even-headed enough to be part of a political campaign. I assumed they were all like Gerson or whatever the spade guy is. Dumb
Yeah, this-
and arrogant and brash.
Hey, hun, this is new for me too. Gotta say, Stinky caught me off guard with this one. Smart play though. I mean, it's been running ads on how I'm been to prison and I'm a criminal. Why not grab someone who was in prison with me for a while? Especially someone I hate. Makes sense.
Yeah, she just sort of sighs impatiently. Just, And yeah, if there's something else, anyone involved, because you other two are here in the scene. During the speeches before Fox gets up, you can do so, but otherwise I'm just going to move to him. Criminalitate him. Yeah.
I mean, besides like sweeping the area, Lynx is probably not going to do anything beyond like.
Yeah, if you're just here for security, you mostly just find a lot of like news drones that they use for various camera angles. There's a lot of like, at first they seem like listening devices, but then you're pretty quickly like, oh, this is just people recording as much different places of audio so that they can. It's like a crossweave thing to clean the audio up to get rid of certain amounts of chat and focus. It's a sort of fun like 3-point recording software thing that's popular right now. It's fine. Nothing of it seems dangerous. You definitely can tell that some of the news drones are technically armed, but that's not that weird because these are the same drones reporters bring with them into like very dangerous situations.
Makes sense.
Camera and gun. Let's go.
Is there, as a question, is there a hologram? Like the stage, is there a hologram on the stage that?
Yeah, all the signage is hologram based, and in fact, like everyone's campaign, including yours, Foxy's, does have someone who's just like made various banners with like your message, and they just swap them up when you get up there onto these two hologram projectors of like they're general signs. You're not expected to do something really dramatic, but if you wanted to, you can, and that could be part of your speech.
I got this.
But what are
don't
you
worry.
thinking? Thanks.
Yeah. You got anything planned?
Oh, no, Lynx is just gonna be prepared to, let's say, hack into the holograms if you need it.
Fair enough.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
Keep that on deck.
Anything from you or not?
For me?
Oh, just you're here if you want to be. Is there anything you wanted to do in particular or not?
I guess just keeping an eye out, but I don't think there's much that
Yeah.
I can do unless someone gets hurt.
Yeah, I think you don't have the sniper rifle with you because you haven't like modified it to be super collapsible, like your assault rifle. But you have your assault rifle on you. It's pretty easy to hide, and you just have an eye out.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
you're probably
okay,
more
so-
in the crowd as an eye out.
Yeah. With the hologram knowledge and being aware of that, and knowing that his friends are probably a little nervous, Fox will just tap Cat into the group chat real quick, just be like, "Don't trip, guys. I got this covered." But Ma, I need a favor. You can get into these holograms, right? I see you eyeing them.
It'll be
Yeah.
super easy for you to do. It's not even a problem.
Yeah.
Just checking, and I guess asking for your consent, of course. You mind queuing up that photo of me? And Lynx definitely knows exactly what Fox talks about because it's a certain picture of him. He's like, it's kind of charming, even though it's not the best scenario, and he has it saved. I'm DMing you right now what it is, so you can describe it when the time comes.
Okay.
And you can take full liberty on however you want to describe how it looks or anything. I have no care for this. I'm just telling you what it is. There you go. I just didn't see it. Yeah, just queue that up for me. You'll know when to play it.
Okay. Lynx has no clue where this is going, but
Just stand by for a show.
I am the DM and I am afeared. Let's go. Anyways, so eventually, Mr. Raymond Stereo finishes talking. A lot of his is very kind of generic and boring because he's for like a very safe part of the city. It's like optimizing corpo sponsorships, trying to pull back on certain waste of like resources and water, and fixing up some of the old plumbing stuff that still goes on the fritz because most of it's buried. Stuff like that. Very generic city stuff. I think he talks about a new park that he wants to get built. Things like that. So eventually, it is your turn, Fox, and I think I will give you free reign to describe how this speech goes, and I'll just interrupt you if you need to roll something.
Actually, first thing's gonna happen is like Fox will kind of, again, he's finishing this situation off. He'll get up, flag the manager down one more time. Same girl he's talking to, just like, you smoke?
He sort of shakes her head. She's smiling. She's like, not on the job.
He'll just say, "You're lost," and he'll put, he'll ash it on a wall or something, and like tuck it off to the
Yeah.
side. and he'll just start walking on stage. You know, he'll flex a kind of shake a bit. Still look a little nervous, but just like, I got this. He'll walk on stage very, very calmly, and he'll kind of like go to like the podium area where kind of like the mic setup is, and he'll look at it for a bit. Then he'll look over into like wherever in the crowd Lynx is, and he'll just kind of tap like his own like his just like, can you like indicating like can you tap him into the mic so he can talk to her rather than have her stand at the podium.
And
yeah, Lynx, you can kind of just do that. You have such a high modifier compared to the people who set this up, and no one was expecting anyone to hack this. You're just like, yeah, whoop, done.
So yeah, he'll just. All right, good. If I took one thing from Mr. Stink Miner's speech, it's that character breeds action, or at least it should predict it. Yes. I agree with that.
Some mutter.
Entirely, actually. In fact, I couldn't agree with the statement more. I don't know if any of you frequent the net, you know, hang out on social spaces or anything like that, but if you do, you might have been privy to a political ad or two leveled by my opponent at me, such as, I don't know, small things, my criminal history, my time spent in prison. None of those are lies. In fact, a lot of them make up core parts of what make up what I am, I'll say. Apologies for my misspeaking. A little bit nervous in all this. But I think if we're talking about character begetting action, we should delve into that just a little bit further. And at that point, he'll kind of snap his fingers, and that's kind of the signal for the holograms to change over. So why don't you go ahead and describe what those look like for me, Mo?
well, it's a mugshot. Fox's mugshot from when he got into prison. He's looking a little bloodied, probably from, well, law enforcement or for whatever reason, but he's got like this big smirk on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's proud to be in prison. Like he's like, you should see the other guy kind of look on his face.
And he's like, cute little shit, isn't he? I grew up in South Night City. My parents died in the Corporal War or in the aftermath. So a friend of mine took me in. It's the closest thing to a mother I have, I think. I did everything I had to do to survive. I stole. I killed, even. And maybe I was proud of it for a bit. Maybe a part of me still is. For surviving. But everything I did because I had to. Not just because things were bad for me, but because everywhere I looked, every single time I opened my eyes, there were 7 or 8 other sad sacks of shit around me just as fucked as I was. Just as downtrodden. Just as willing to put a bullet in the next person so they could get a meal that night. And do you know why all of us had to do that? Do you know why I started living the life that I lived? Do you know why I didn't make it in school, or why I ended up in prison for half of my life? Why I got out and made my way as a fixer for a long ass time? Because for many of us, it's the only way out. And by my opponent's rhetoric, as much as he talks about containing us, keeping the threat of crime and gangs and scum and filth kept in South Night City, it sounds like nobody else wants us out. So my wager is, if you hate me, or more accurately, if you hate that person up there, if you want people like him dead, then why do you let Jonathan Stinkmiter keep making more of us? The point I'm making here is not that I can make any great promises about fixing South Night City, about making less criminals or keeping them trapped in here. The only thing that I can promise you is that I'm a person who came up scraping by, bloodying his teeth and his fingers on every single building and piece of concrete he could find in that shithole. So I know what it means to suffer for a bit. And if I can make it even a little bit easier for anybody else out there in South Night City, maybe, just maybe, there will be a few less knees running around and getting themselves into prison. So it sounds like, if you want less knees out there, the person you should be voting for is right in front of you. That's your call, though. They'll offer just a very, very mock salute and just slide off to the right. No, not even saying anything else.
If you were holding a mic, there'd be a drop. All
Yeah,
right,
just
roll me
fucking get
some
this one.
persuasion.
You got it, boss. I just added 3 more points in this motherfucker, by the way, if you was wondering. Sorry, 2 more points, actually. Oh, you know what? You're fucking right. Spree is right. I'm gonna roll a GM dice for this, actually. So that's sorry, actually, only 2 more points, by the way. Okay, so I only have a plus 16 to this roll. But, we're breaking the GM dice out for this one, you know. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's get it popping. It's a 9! 9 plus 16 puts me at, what's that?
25.
25.
Mm-hmm. Is that including the bonus from that roll earlier?
It's not. That adds plus 2 more, right?
Yep, plus 3 more.
20?
Actually.
Oh, so then I'm at 28.
28.
Damn near 30.
Right. Not as high as
Like
your
that.
impossible roll on the first speech.
Yeah, not as high as the first speech, but I wasn't going as hard. It's all right.
I'm definitely not going to install.
We're not bringing up the robots.
Not going to do a robot army. Let's see.
Look, if you can't trust a
Write it
politician,
down.
you can't trust.
Literally everything. There's things under the rocks that you can trust more than a politician.
The
Anyways.
bugs living under my house, I trust more.
They at least follow contracts, those literal devils. Anyways, yeah, so you...
Shout out to the one episode of Supernatural where he's like, "This isn't Wall Street, this is hell. We have a little
Yeah.
something called integrity."
Yeah. Damn. Anyways,
Facts.
sometimes Supernatural was good, even if it was mostly not. Anyways, so, yeah, you give this speech, and there's, like, a lot of murmuring, and, some people nodding, and some people, like, kind of back in their seat, like, a little recoiling physically, because you put a lot of emphasis, a lot of oomph into this speech. And, yeah, you are pretty sure that even if this isn't going to convince everyone, because you don't have as good of a feel for the other parts of the city as your home turf, this is definitely going to get people talking. And it's definitely going to make a lot of his, like, the propaganda so far kind of work in your favor, or at least it splits it.
That was
Because
the
you've
plan.
made some good points. You've made some very good points. You maybe are still a little worried about Al Harris and like what he would say and how it's going to read in that context, but it's at least going to make it a little better. It's not going to be so bad.
I don't worry. I got a plan. Actually, you know what? Are there like any like press people like trying to like check me for questions on this as I'm walking away? And specifically,
Yeah,
are any
this
specifically are any of them about Al? If that's happening.
So, yeah, I want to... So the rally is technically over as soon as you're done, and there's a fanfare, and you go backstage, and you kind of get your people. You can see, you can see Stink Miner. He's more concerned. Like, he's still trying to put on this air of like, according to Pan, but you just, with your high, just normal human perception bonus, I'm not going to have you roll. You can tell there's a little bit more concern, like his brow's just a little tighter as he starts walking back to his car as soon as it's done. There's quite a few press people who mob him, but as you head back to your car, which I assume is kind of the opposite direction of his, there are still quite a few press people who are asking you. First, it's mostly about Stink Miner. And of like, how do you think that he's contributed to where you're at and like the state of Night City? Do you think you can really like rehabilitate the people of South Night City? Stuff about like trying to get a little more details as to like what kind of plan you have. Even though this is definitely a rhetoric speech, they're still going to try and get something.
I'm gonna answer that just by saying like, I don't know for certain, but I know that South Night City hasn't tried to rehabilitate its criminals at all yet. So anything has to be better than nothing. And I know that for a fact. We can look at data and say that police do not decrease crime. Adding more crackdown on the people who are already suffering just makes them try harder to get around it. We have to do better than that.
Yeah, okay. And then, eventually, they're like, do you have anything to say about do you have anything to say about Al Harris and his relationship with you?
Oh yeah, yeah. At this point, Fox just like, I'm gonna play this up. He'll pick up Raina again, just like snuggle her a little bit, and just like, Mr. Harris is a consequence of the same system that made me. He is a man who did his best to get by and got swept up in a system that wasn't made to help people like him. Any hatred he has towards me, which I will not speak right now on such things because that's not a matter of personal, or this isn't a place for personal speech, but I'll just simply say, anything that's happened to Mr. Harris, anything that he's been through, are mostly a consequence of that system as well. And if done better, I would hope to help even people like him. Now, I'm just like, give my daughter a kiss on the cheek and just like put her down. Yeah. It's like, no more, please. Start heading over to my car.
Yeah. And yeah, that's sort of the end of that rally.
I literally bought in the car, just like.
yeah, I get that. So, and so, yeah, that's sort of the end of these 2 weeks. I'm going to say, actually, a few days before, you got contacted by Daniel. Oh, sorry, what?
Is it cool? Just like, I feel like there was a lot of me there. If y'all want, like, do we want to have like an aftermath scene, like in the car ride back? Just like, anybody want to talk to me, like give me reactions? What are we doing? So yeah, Fox, like he's hopping back in the car. Shit, my daughter's in the car. So I guess he's not smoking at this point. So he's gonna chill. He's gonna cop back. Probably order like if it's like kind of cool like little mini fridge in this thing. He'll pop one open and grab like a nice cold beverage or something. Just like start passing those around everybody. Just like please for the whole team. You guys did great. Just kind of pop one open, sit back, take a few sips. Just how we feeling, team? How was that?
You didn't lay out all your cards.
Rule 1 of negotiation: never show your whole hand, right? Sorry, what was that, Doc?
An inspiring speech, to be sure.
Well, thank you. Nicest thing you've ever said to me, kid.
I think Mariah's mostly. Oh, you guys get it. Sorry.
Oh, just suppose I'll keep an eye on. Need to keep an eye on political traffic again.
Again, I think we can get a team of people to help you out with that, rather than making just a you job. But yeah, you should get on that.
You do have those political students who have started working for you. Again, they're mostly being paid from like the contributions, and most of those contributions are like, it's not a lot of money, but it's just people like around South Night City and even a little further being like, no, I actually kind of like this guy, especially after that big speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just do me a favor while you're at it. Get with Dion. I'm assuming Dion's here too. Just like he'll look over at Dion and Link's just like, you two get working on booking me some media appointments, video shoots, photo things like that, some ad campaigns, stuff like that. Now's the time we start actually making pushes for more donations. Getting actual videos out. Actually pushing our causes at this point. Empty rhetoric won't get us anywhere. I can talk all I want and bluster all I can against Jonathan, but I gotta actually push some positions here. And again, just not to like enforce your character in position or anything, but like, this is some of the most intelligent and/or focused Fox has seen possibly ever in his life. Like, and I mean, you would know Link's like the few classes he took while he was in school were mostly like sociology, did like a couple like. He had like a lot of history, sociology, stuff like that, because like he cared about that kind of stuff. But like, so like this is like in his element. You're not unused to seeing him like this, but like he's strangely fervent right now.
Well, so you're putting those classes to good use.
What can I say? I know some stuff. I don't know. I was thinking the other night, like, back in school, all that stuff seems so distant. All those numbers and tables and crime stats, all that talk about how the system made this, it all seems so far away, but, like, right up against me, I guess, at the same time. I never felt strong enough to do anything about it, but assuming all of this works out, maybe I can try and do something. I don't know. Pipe dreaming, I guess.
I guess Lynx will start conferring with the political students on pulling up some interesting data points.
Mm-hmm.
I'd appreciate it.
You definitely could do that.
If you look at anything in South Night City's crime stats in the past 20 or 30 years, you'll definitely find some interesting trends around like police activity and stuff like that. Particularly look around areas like New Mantua and areas around there, you'll find plenty of things like that. It's not too hard. While you're at it, you might as well take in the police records. I'm sure you'll find a couple things around lawsuits or anything. Just check crime budget or check estimated loss. Check estimated economic loss from crime against economic settlement loss from police settlements for things like wrongful deaths and stuff like that. I'm sure you'll find some interesting trends in when that data aligns.
All right.
Although, to be clear, the losses from accidental police deaths are almost entirely like someone survived being shot by a cop when it comes to like the combat.
Yeah, I was banking on that because like I'm imagining like in our world where people just like die to like police or whatever, like that's already like, a lot of money. But in a world like Night City, if you just get gunned down by the police, they're just kind of like, oh well, you were a criminal for some reason, obviously, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you get shot by the police and you live long enough to say, hey, I didn't do anything, I just got caught in the crossfire, and then you die, like there's probably a fair amount of money the police owe your family at that point. Like, there's probably some settlement going on there. So I'm figuring if you cross-reference that those data points on like instances of high crime versus like instances where like places were paying out more money, you're gonna find some weird trends. And I wager if you cross-reference that, like the money that like overall economic loss from crime, which any good university would have data on because like that kind of data is freely available. Like data on like how much economic loss happens from crime, cross-reference with like every other like how much money the police like departments lose from like settlement stuff like that, you will find that second number to be significantly higher. Such has been the trend for big cities since like the 1970s. Also, again, this is in character. This is all Fox saying this. Like,
All right. Well, I'm sure the poli-sci students are quite impressed.
if you want, just he's kind of like at this point he kind of recognizes like as he's like halfway through saying this, he recognizes like how incredulous he sounds. Like, if you want, you can drop anything off and I'll cross-reference. Shit, am I a nerd?
Nah.
It's like Lynx is like, you just realized this?
Yes, this is.
This is new for him.
Yeah, this is a. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just know a lot about this kind of stuff. It's important to me, I guess. Used to just be to care about police tracking and stuff like that for the sake of monitoring where their patrols were for, avoiding them. But you start digging for a while and you find some cool shit. So, I don't know. I dug more.
Now we'll get more into what you guys find later. Sorry,
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
should finish this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, I just wanted to like be like, hey Doc, you got any records on, say, cyber? On like cyberware and how that like might get influenced based on. Because I know Stink Miner has deals with corpos.
What exactly are you asking me to look for?
Just like you've been here for probably not too long, but I'm sure you could dig up some data on cyberware, like costs of and you have doctor contacts. You could probably figure out things on like, hey, medical costs, healthcare, things of that nature.
Hospital records on people getting hurt in these combat things involving the police, I think is what she's saying. Especially like cost of cyberware and such.
You could also probably, Doc, if you wanted to, just draft up general ideas for like average cost of like what cyber surgery and things like that for people in South Night City. I'm sure you'd probably be able to get some numbers on that. I'm sure that could be some good early groundwork for our policy plans on like how to improve healthcare around here. Again, that's in character.
Right? Leave it to me.
I appreciate you guys' help. All of you, really. I couldn't get this all done without you.
Well, you know what they say, a rising tide lifts all ships, yes?
Yeah. Read that in a book somewhere, I think.
I like that that's maybe Fox's catchphrase at this point. Yeah, I read that in a book somewhere.
Yeah, oh yeah, that definitely was like his go-to for like, I need to seem smart right now. I think I read that in a book somewhere. Has he actually read it in a book, or has he not? You never know, because sometimes he has actually. He's read some books.
Yeah.
Read it in a book, heard it from some guy, same difference.
You know. Told it from a bookshelf from a lover I had, who knows?
Eavesdropped on
Talking
some
about it to some girl, who knows?
Alright. Anyways, if that's the car ride, is there anything else?
No, I think we're good there.
Okay. So yeah, something I didn't want to get into to not break the flow, but probably a few days ago, Manny did contact you guys on like, hey, this is what's happening with my contacts, and he's like, yeah, so I talked to some Nomad guys. There's no one really going that way, but your friend Daniel, his Nomad caravan is actually arriving in Night City, like pretty soon, and I talked to him, and he thinks that he can get you guys out there. And I think it's probably like I think it's just after the rally. You do get a call from Daniel. He's like, "Hey, you guys, it's a long time no see."
Danny, good to see you, boss. How you been?
Doing good. We're closing in on the city now. Probably in like another day or so we'll be in. I think I might be able to get you guys out to wherever this place is in Colorado, but I'm gonna need you guys to come in and like talk to my stepdad about that.
Oh dear, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, you guys are landing in a day or two, right?
Yeah, we'll be here soon. We're just gonna be out on the east side, just outside outside of Haywood, probably.
I guess I will. I'll tap over to I'll tap over to Kat, just like listening to this, just like send him over like a modest amount of evidence, like probably about like 500 or so, just like when you land, take another day off, get a good meal on me, you and your stepdad. Once you guys have had that, contact me. We'll schedule a meeting.
Yeah, sure. He'll probably be very grateful for that, I hope.
Don't worry about it, boss.
Hasta luego. Sorry, hasta luego. He hangs up.
You be
I
safe.
cannot speak today.
It's all right. Language is hard.
Especially when I don't really speak the language. Anyways, so yeah, that's sort of like the end of these 2 weeks, and it's at the end of it. It's like a Monday. It's kind of early in the day when the three of you, specifically you three, can go and meet up with Daniel and his stepdad. The things that Daniel sends you are two very important details. One, Daniel's stepdad is actually like head of this caravan, and that Daniel knows he can get the resources to get you out there, just he needs permission to do it.
Right.
And also that they're not taking the whole caravan. You're gonna have to get permission to borrow a car.
Yeah, of course.
You could take your own car, just it's gonna take you like 3-ish days to get there. There's not a lot of the good freeways going between here and Colorado are just not fixed. They're just not in good condition, so it's a little bit of a roundabout path.
Nah, we'll definitely take their car. It's better. They're probably better suited for it, for off the road travel. My car's more of a street car. I'm fine with that. But yeah, just for quick little clarity, stepping back for a second here, GM, if you don't mind. It's just like for like a narrative sake. After we go have this sort of talk with the stepfather, is the plan to sort of just head out there afterwards immediately?
No, you need to get his permission to take the car, and then you could have like a day or two to prep.
Okay, cool. That's fine. That's all right. Just making sure before we. All right, so cool. Let's go do that now. Yeah. So yeah, Fox is definitely gonna like schedule kind of like probably just like probably over a meal, honestly. You know, for people like us, this wants to go for something a little bit more formal. So a nice little meal, nice like formal dinner of some kind. You know, kind of keeping it. You know, not super high profile because they don't want to just like kind of like get tied up in his campaign stuff. But you know, somewhere like middling, somewhere nice, somewhere 4-ish stars. You know, and like if any of the other guys want to come too, like Fox would encourage that. You guys are welcome to, but you don't have to.
Well, actually, when I said you three specifically, the stepdad really wants to meet the people who will be in this car, and as you talk about it, Dion specifically says, look, I can't really leave the city right now. I've been helping where I can, but I'm really looking for my friends right now, and I'm onto something. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, that makes perfect sense, all right? Stay here and keep an eye on things for me. Actually, if it helps, could you help them keep an eye on Jess and Raina for me?
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Cool, man.
Did you want to bring Mariah, though? Because then she can be there. Otherwise, she'll be in the city also holding down the fort.
I am cool with her staying, personally. I think the three of us can trio this.
All right.
Lynx will leave we'll hand over the laptop with the secure data to Dion's. Like, make of this with what you will. I think it's safer in your hands for now.
Yeah, drum up some reason why I'm out of city for a while. Something not too conspicuous.
Yeah, Dion nods. He's like, I'm on it.
Appreciate it, boss. And you be safe till we get back, all right?
There's a very light smirk of, yeah, sure.
I'll kind of smirk back and just like let him go on about his business.
But anywho, I don't have a good map of the U.S., so we may just not do that. That'll be fine. Anyways, so yeah, it'll be you three, and you sort of drive out to This is just like the east side of town, and I don't know that you guys have spent a lot of time out here, but it's very much was at one point like a suburban sort of area, but now it's mostly a lot of people in dire straits. People don't really have running water out here. It's really more like a lot of cobbled together tent like cities. People, share resources they can. There are a few businesses out here that cater to them specifically, and a lot of them are either kind of predatory or are running on very small margins because they're trying to get people into like the major buildings.
Right.
The Haywood Industrial Zone is the only one that has an actual like mega structure people can live in with running water, and that's about it. There's also like just this huge wall between Pacifica Playground and the rest of this area, as well as a huge wall around the Executive Zone that are just like people aren't allowed in unless they live there and like security and stuff. But the one thing that is out here that just isn't really in the city are a lot of like small pop-up like restaurants are the only word for it, even though not really, because what you can do here if you have the security to do it and you're sneaky and you have maybe some people helping is there's a lot more like soil out here. It's not great, but you can grow stuff. And so in fact, sometimes you find better food here than you do in the city.
Word. I'll fuck with that.
It's just that these places like disappear for no reason, it seems, all the time. Yeah, either they move on to another place in the city because they get the funds, or like their garden gets destroyed, or someone can just come through the bulldozer and breaks their whole tent and it's too expensive for them to like build it again.
Yeah, sounds about right.
A dozen reasons. You could probably eat at a new place every day in this part of the city, and for the rest of your life because of how often they sort of cycle through.
Makes sense. I can deal with that. That's cool. That's nice to meet.
Yep. And Hime, your buddy, is more familiar with around here, so you kind of get from him. There's a place that seems to be doing a lot of really interesting, like, vegetable curry stuff. You don't know who they're from. You don't know, like, what kind of curry, where they're from, and every, like, dish seems to be a completely different, like, culture's curry. It's this, like, weird mix match. Like, someone just got all the plants to grow every curry spice they could possibly do, and they're just making it up as they go.
As long as it works.
Slapdash. Yeah.
Slapdash curry
so,
works.
Yeah. They do sometimes have curry just over the regular kibble, but the nicer dishes do have rice. It's that kind of thing. And then lots of different grilled, steamed, baked vegetables throughout.
Word. I'm with it.
Again, like some of the nicest food in the city. When you arrive, it is this sort of like just sort of large-ish tents. There's mostly like pillows to sit on and kind of low tables that are often just boxes because, furniture is difficult. Sometimes it's literally someone just ripped off the side of a house and just put legs under it because no one lives there and it's falling apart. It's fine. When you enter, it's kind of busy. I mean, this is where people like to eat. It's also the kind of place that if you wash dishes, you can get a free meal. Or if you work in this garden, you can get a free meal. So a lot of people eating here. And then you see Daniel sitting with his back to you and someone across that you haven't seen before. He's a very tall man. He's obviously not like related by blood to Daniel. Daniel has like Daniel's very obviously like Latino, dark hair, like that sort of skin tone. This guy is super tall, like extremely dark skin. He is wearing a long duster, like an old Western duster, and like a cowboy hat. He's got what looks like mutton chop beard kind of going on.
Word. I fuck with it.
And his coat is like kind of weirdly bulged in the back, like he's wearing a backpack under it or something. You're not sure. And when you get closer, he sort of looks up and he seems to vaguely recognize you guys. Like, I think that's who we're meeting. And then Daniel turns around. He's like, oh, yeah, guys, over here. We got a table. Daniel seems very nervous.
Come on over, just... What's up, Dust? Oh, offer him a handshake. Kind of like very friendly shake, just like, relax, man. It's all good.
Like, yeah. I forgot to bring up my notes on this guy's name.
Imagine having notes.
Can always ask the chat.
Nope.
This is a more important NPC for that. Sorry,
we have denied chat that power. They have not earned it.
Unless they pay 1750 points.
No.
Oh.
Purple's okay. Purple's fine. No one else in chat has earned that power.
Not even Heck.
Oh.
Has Heck ever given a name? I don't think Heck's ever given a name.
I don't know, but until you say otherwise, she's included in everyone.
All right, fine. Heck,
Second
has the
one.
power to give names to.
But yeah, so you shake Daniel's hand, and his stepdad stands up, and again, yeah, this dude's tall. Like he stands probably like half a head taller than Doc, who is the tallest among you. And as he puts out a hand, you can see that behind him, like in his jacket, is a set of cyber arms that he has grafted to his upper shoulders, and he has no less than 4 extremely heavy handguns on his person.
Well, that's a lot of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, sir? Nice to meet you. Fox.
Alan Dresden, and he reaches a hand out. It's a pretty strong grip.
He just leans back towards her.
Deep voice.
He even has a cool name. Damn it.
He's like, so, I'm familiar with Miss Noel, we do business with, and she's spoken highly of you. But my
She's good people.
stepson here says that you're going to need to borrow a vehicle to travel a little farther inland than we normally go.
Yeah, let's just say we got to drop on some potentially really useful cargo and/or information, and we lack the means to get out there and get it for ourselves. Despite that needing to be a thing we have to do. I'll come right to the chase, honestly, if it's cool with you, Mr. Dresden, sir. So I'm a man of business personally. I recognize that we're asking.
Sit down first, and
Yeah,
then like food is coming out as this conversation's happening.
Yeah, and he'll kind of like passively eat a little bit as he's talking, just like. I recognize that we're asking for a lot from your family. Asking for a nomad convoy's vehicle is basically like asking to borrow a family pet of some kind. I totally understand that. So I'll keep this very simple. The object that we're going to look for is going to lead to what might need a lot of materiel shipped into Night City on my behalf. I won't be specific. Let's just say that my political ambitions have some other needs that can't necessarily be fit in the through wider public or through campaign funds. So if there were a group of particularly skilled cargo shippers, if one happened to know one, who could discreetly get this material, if we discover it, back into Night City, it might make this little offer you're sending to us profitable for you in the end.
He definitely is thinking as you sort of propose this. Says, I can appreciate understanding my position. Daniel has built up enough respect amongst our people, amongst our troop, that he can bring this vehicle with him, and he is allowed to do so by our laws. It's more that the place you're asking to go to is not safe. I'm more worried about my stepson than I am the car.
You want to give details?
We travel the coast up around the Gulf, and we head all the way from New York to DF. It's not a safe trail because there are people who will take advantage of a convoy, but it's well known and traveled. There's not much up through that area of the country. There's a few old abandoned cities that are sparsely populated, and I know that some of the people we work with that travel from, say, Austin all the way up into Canada tend to avoid it. There are at least a few different, we would call them bandit nomads amongst our people, that are less interested at working honestly. And beyond that, no one's really come back from the specific area that Daniel has been talking about. So I'm not sure if there is a larger group that is trying to be isolated, if there's maybe some sort of community that doesn't want to be found out there.
Either one's bad news for us, but unfortunately, neither one's supposed to stop us. So, listen, Daniel's good people. I've seen him work before. He's competent. It's a good shot. I can't make any immediate promises. Our work is dangerous, and this job especially sounds like it won't be an easy one. But I'll watch his back as long as he watches mine. And if that means anything, I'll get him back alive as best as I can. More than anything, we just need him to drive us there.
He sort of like leans in and he's looking at you real close. Fox is the one who's talking. I'd like you to roll me some persuasion real quick, but he's measuring you up.
19.
Yeah, he is sort of looking you over, and then he looks at Doc and Lynx, also of just, all right. We will be operating under the rules of our caravan as to which vehicle the Daniel can take, but I'm willing to extend him that credit. His regular bike as well as one vehicle that he is allowed to take.
We ain't picky, Pops. Appreciate it.
I just want you to know this is going to be... It'll be easier for you if you try and stay unnoticed.
We're usually pretty good at that, right, guys?
Can Lynx activate the stealth program?
You can if you want. I mean, you won't have like the whole cloak up, but yeah, you can, and it'll just like sort of... It doesn't work super well when you're not right up next to a surface. Like, if anytime someone passes behind you, it's like kind of a flurry instead of a very clear image. But it does look pretty good. It's like... He looks it up down and is like, yeah. Well, I definitely am impressed by that.
Yeah, Fox will just
Hopefully
start
that means
poking
that you
it,
can...
just like,
Yeah, if you put your hand close to it, it's like, it really doesn't deal super well with that.
Yeah, obviously.
It's like the color of like your ring and your nails and your finger kind of make a little bloom when you get close to it. It'll like cover a whole shoulder, but you know. You can wave your hand behind her on one side, and on the front, it's like a very like watery looking hand thing that blurs.
This is cool as hell. Stop. Business. Yes.
It's like, that's very impressive.
We're pretty
it's
good
like,
at being quiet. It's like trying to be serious. We're pretty good at being quiet.
like, all right, you guys can continue your meal. He's like, well, the vehicle in question, at least the one that Daniel picked out, you maybe can swap it out for a different one, is actually just out front. You probably saw it and didn't realize.
Really?
Yep. You can kind of look out, and you can try and decide and like roll what it is if you want to, or you can just ask which one.
I'm gonna ask. Yeah, just like, what are we taking?
It's like, well, it's that camper trailer. And you look out, and you know those old like big vans that like uncollapse into a like camping thing?
Yep.
It's one of those.
Fox is like, it'll do.
Like, trust me, the more armored it looks, the more attention you'll get. And this one can go off-road, and you can set up camp. It comes with some proximity scanners, and collapse in the back there, and he's like pointing, and there's like the place that the spare tire would be, is actually a gun.
Well, don't get me wrong, we're appreciative.
Guns are nice to have in this time.
No lie.
But yeah,
Well,
it's
kids.
like white. It's got like two baby blue stripes on like the top and the side, and then like orange ones. It's real old looking, but it looks like it's in really nice condition.
Fox is just like, we have time to get it painted. No, we don't. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Turn, look,
And
friends, like,
it's cute.
just like, you heard him, kids. We're taking that on the road.
It's
So, cute as a descriptor. Point is, take a day or so. Get yourselves prepped up. Handling last minute affairs. Cause whatever you need to pack up, bring all your heavy gear. Anything. Any guns you got, any spare ammo. Don't spare anything. Everything comes with us, alright?
Lynx is gonna like quick like, so you got a name for pronouns? And like you can like see her going like
She's
pronouns.
not
The car?
She's not asking about
Yeah.
the car. She's not asking about the car. She's
Yeah,
not asking
Daniel's
about
like,
the car.
for the car? I mean, my mom named my bike Fernando, but we didn't name the car yet. If we want to, we can't. Like, Daniel's actually decided. Actually, yeah, no one's taken that out since we got it and fixed it up, so we can name it.
You know
Whatever
what?
you want.
You know what? It's fine. Chat, I will
Yeah.
give you this power.
We already got it to redeem.
I will. All right, the
I
car's
believe
name
we
is
already
Chef.
have one in the queue.
The car's. No. I'm sorry. We have a very important one we have to use, and I need to make sure we use
yeah?
it. The car's
Okay.
name is Ozymandias.
Ozymandias
Also known as
is
Ozzy.
the camper.
It
Ozzy
is very
the camper.
important. And Fox will hear Ozymandias, he'll look at it, it's like, Ozzy, huh? Yeah, I guess it is kind of cute.
And yeah, I think that the way that comes up is Daniel's like, well, like Daniel suggests Ozymandias maybe something big and dramatic. We're gonna be on this thing for like 3 days there, 3 days back, probably.
Yeah,
Might as well sound cool when we do it.
It's got some gravitas to it, you know? I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, and you know what? If we survive this, if this vehicle makes it through its first drive outside the caravan, yeah, then we can get it painted. We got someone on the caravan who will paint it up.
Sounds wonderful, because, ew. Anyway,
It's like, but orange and blue go
just-
so well together.
he turns and just looks back at that and just like, your kindness is very much appreciated, sir. You all, take a day, get your affairs in order, load up. We're parking Ozzy back at Neon Lights, so get anything you need stocked up there. I gotta grab one more thing from the apartment, and I'll meet you all back at Neon Lights by tomorrow, and then we'll head out, okay? Under nightfall.
Because you don't want to be seen driving in that shit.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm not driving it back. I don't know which of you is taking that, but I'm not driving this thing back to Neon Lights, so.
Danny's like, oh, I can get it. There's a place for my bike to go. And, yeah, that's kind of that meal. If you guys want to know more about, like, the food or the place or anything, I'm here for answers.
I'm too hungry. I can't. I'm too hungry. I can't.
All right, yep. We're not gonna pull Michelle and then super describe the food in such detail that we all want to eat.
I can't do it. I'm so hungry.
All right. But it's pretty good. I mean, you're like, it's better than most of the places around, so, you know, hey.
But I'm happy. Need a nice filling meal.
Yep. Anywho, so, sorry, Jeff still lurks. All right.
Jeff watches. He waits. He learns.
But yeah, Daniel just, like, gets the bike behind the vehicle, and then there's, like, actually, like, a little clip that comes out and, like, lifts it up to the back in the side.
Nice.
And, yeah, he just drives it back to Neon Lights. So, yeah.
Oh, thank God. Someone, not me, driving it. So, yeah, Fox will drive back. He'll drop you all at Neon Lights to say, again, a day, get your affairs in order. I'll be back here by tomorrow, all right?
I mean, Lynx lives with you, but, you know.
Oh, yeah, right. I guess you're coming with me then, huh? Well, actually, you know what? That works perfectly. So, yeah, I'll drop the doctor off, you know, kind of give him... I'm actually going to give him a really firm handshake as he heads off, just like, I'll see you tomorrow, all right, Doc?
See. Arrivederci.
Gesundheit. And he'll just shake his hand, and then he'll drive back. He does seem a little, like, in his thoughts as he's driving back towards the apartment. Like, I guess it's not just me and you, Ma, but, like, he does seem a little, like if there's no blaring music in the back or anything, like, he's just, kind of seems like he's thinking a fair bit.
What? I'm used to you blaring this thing loud enough for me to break my eardrums.
Got a thing that handled when we get back. You mind if I leave you at the apartment?
I'm not going to ask. Just... And I can't make you promise me anything, but make sure you get back safe.
If it makes you feel any better, I'll be at Neon Lights.
Well then. Looks not gonna say anything.
Appreciate it. So yeah, just we'll pull up, we'll drop you off. He will go inside the apartment. You'll see him leave with just a really, really big box of some kind. And he'll just like, see you tomorrow, all right? I'll come pick you up before we head back to the Neon Lights, all right? So get all your stuff loaded up now and have it ready to load up in the car tomorrow, okay?
Link's just gonna slip a little card into his pocket. Give that to my... That one's for my adopted grandchild, since we can't see her.
Got it. I'll see you tomorrow, Ma. Okay? And he just
Alright.
kind of like look a little concerned, just like, yeah, get some rest.
Alright, well,
Yeah, and he'll go back. Sorry, go ahead, please take it away.
no, I was just gonna say sleep goods.
I'll try. He's gonna pack up. He'll take this large sort of box. He'll put it in the back seat of the car. It's a two-seater. He has to like kind of like move some of the seats a little bit. But he does drive again, very, very, very solemnly, back to Neon Lights. He doesn't say anything to anybody as he walks in, but he does pick the box up and walks over to Jess's apartment. And he knocks just twice.
Yeah, Jess is there. She seems to have she was dressed up for the work day, but it's later now, and she seems to have taken an early day, and she's back, and she's more dressed down now, and you can see Arena in the background.
Perfect.
She's watching some kids program that seems to be aerobic. It's like a little kid's hey, jump around, exercise, get the energy out, sort of thing.
Gotta love those things.
Yeah, it sounds peppy and happy. It's some cartoon elephant thing. And it's a hologram of it looks like the kid is interacting with a real cartoon character in real life. So yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh man, the amount of energy they burn through that.
Time.
Can I find one of those for Kai, please? Oh god. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. So Fox will just kind of walk up. He'll kind of walk up, just, wave quickly at Jess. He'll go right up to Reina, ruffle her hair, and wordlessly he'll just put the box down in front of her.
Okay.
And just it's wrapped up, it's a wrapped up box, just
ooh, like a present.
Yeah, it's a present, obviously.
Hey, yeah. So she's looking at it, hi. What's in the box, Daddy?
Why don't you find out?
And yeah, she seems very careful. Some kids will jump into a gift and just rip all the paper immediately. She's
she's all careful
very
with it.
direct and tactile. She's not trying to save the paper, but she's what is the best way to
she's so
puzzle
cute.
solving?
Oh,
And rip some of the paper off, and then can't get the tape off, and you just hand her some keys or something that are not sharp enough to cut her, but just whoop. And yeah, she sort of has to how big is this box? Does she have to lean and step over it, or?
It's probably she's about 5 or so now, right? Just about maybe
Ish.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's probably a little bit shorter than her, maybe about a foot or like a half a foot shorter than her. So it's a big box. But actually tears all the paper all the way down and around. It's a huge dollhouse. It's this massive dollhouse.
Ooh.
It's got all the trappings. It's got a multi room house. It opens up all the different rooms and play sets.
Okay.
A couple different dolls of different families. A little car goes in the garage. Whole setup.
Yeah, I think as is this a classic toy, or is it a modern one?
It's a slightly modernish one, but it's contemporary.
Yeah, when she removes the box, it has the aesthetic of one of those old plastic ones, especially old for this setting, but even old now. And but it sort of uncollapses itself, and the car moves from the garage to the driveway itself. The dolls have voice lines, but they still are very a kid moves them around. They don't move on their own. It's this newer wave of kids' toys trying to be more physical and tactile, even though they could be all robots that move themselves. Right. And yeah, it's her face sort of lights up, and she's immediately checking all these little things of what this does and that bit and stuff like that. And yeah, she looks at you and is oh, this is amazing.
Don't worry about it, kid.
Definitely Jess behind you is well, as long as it doesn't make a whole lot of noise. And then to Reina, it's and you can't be playing it all hours of the night when people are trying to sleep.
Yeah. Mom's right, kid. And then he'll kind of he'll look up at Jess and kind of finger kind of over at her, kind of indicating maybe we should talk. If she has anything, he'll indicate her to sit somewhere. He'll just walk over to whatever appears to be a fridge nearby if there is one. And if there's anything remotely alcoholic in the fridge, he will absolutely grab it because yeah, he'll just kind of pour a glass or two, walk back over, sit, hand one to her, and just wild week, huh?
She takes it. Yeah. I needed to say, I think what you're doing is a good thing. I know this probably started more as a defensive move or to get back at the mayor, but she sort of fiddles with her drink a bit. I think you can actually do something about this. I think this is a better outlet for all the things that you knew and learned than what you've done before.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying it's less dangerous, but
it's probably more, if we're being honest. And probably gets worse from here, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. This isn't just a random house call. We're heading out for a bit tomorrow. Out of town. I can't give all the details, because, well, I don't know them all, but there's some things we gotta check on. Some stuff that might help if we can get our hands on it, but we gotta move fast. From what I hear, it's scary shit, though. Might get clipped, you know?
Seems pretty serious. It's like, that's how it's always been out here. Now you're doing it for the right reasons, I think.
Some would say. And I guess if enough people say that, then it makes sense, right? Something about perception and collective reality. But no. Used to like when I could say all that cool book shit. I'm bad at it these days. Fuck, what the hell am I doing? Jess, what the fuck happened to us? Things made sense for a bit. And nothing does now? I don't know. I fucked a lot of things up. Like, maybe just about everything, if I'm being honest. And I don't think any of them I can make better, but if I could fix one of them, then he kind of looks over at Reyna and just says, I can't say it be this. Maybe you hate me for all of it, and you should, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know, I can't stop thinking, you know? And that's never safe. Something went wrong between us, I guess, and I kind of can't get to the heart of it. Maybe I'm hoping you did?
Sort of sighs, and looks around and looks at Reyna. And I was worried that you would find out you had a daughter and you wouldn't become safer for her. You would push farther, trying to get more to make her life easier. I was worried that what kind of message that would send to her as she was growing up. I was worried it wasn't going to go well. And then there's this very long pause for a second, and I think I was wrong. I'm the one that should apologize. I didn't tell you about Reyna for the longest time. I debated doing it for a bit, but then you ended up in prison, and by the time you came out, it felt like it was too late to do it, and I was hoping you'd forgive me, not the other way around. I was mad. I acted incorrectly. I was wrong. I don't know that it works between us yet, and I think that we should not rush that, but I'm glad you're here for her. And I'm glad that instead of just grabbing everything you can, the way that we all lived when we were young, for her, instead it feels like you're trying to make the city as a whole better. And if it's for her, if it's for you, if it's for us, I don't know that I care. I think I became complacent working for the mayor, that this is the way that things had to be. And they don't.
Well, I appreciate that, Jess, but I'm not gonna accept an apology when you didn't have to give one. I think you made the right call. I was stubborn and stupid and headstrong back then. Well, now I'm at least two of those things still, I guess. You made the right call.
I think she laughs and,
yeah.
like, look, I wasn't in the best place either. I was just as mad at myself when I was mad at you. Having her around changed a lot of things for me. I tried to become more respectable and safer. And I can see that it's doing that for you too.
Certainly doing something for me. I don't say this and not sound like an asshole, so I'm gonna just run my way through it and hope you don't punch me at some point. Feel inclined to if you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot of girls, Jess. I wasn't careful then, but I guess the luckiest I've ever gotten in this very lucky life of mine is that it was you. Like I said, I've been thinking a lot, and yeah, maybe I'm doing stuff better now. Maybe I'm a better person. But the kid's gotta find out who her dad is someday, you know? And you could do so much fucking better, if I'm being honest. But I don't think I ever stopped loving you, Jess.
Yeah, she's a little like taken aback by that, and just I want to figure it out. I want you to be in her life. So yeah, I don't know that I stopped either. I just don't know what that means now. And there is like sort of this long pause that hangs in the air for a second, and you get back safe. And I think we can try and figure that out together.
Well, now I have to, huh?
Better not, or I'm gonna tell Reyna the worst parts.
Come on, that's just me. Well,
She does laugh a bit. It's like, I haven't really lied to her ever when she asked about who you were. Someone who tried their best to get the most out of life.
that's kind of you. And, well, cards on the table, you're not wrong. So, before I go out and maybe die, one more go?
Yeah, I think she's happy to have you like stay the night. I don't know where that goes, and we can maybe just like fade to black with that.
I'm fine.
We can decide.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with a fade there. Leave it
Yeah.
inconspicuous. Nobody has to know.
Yeah. And yeah, you spend sort of the afternoon with your family.
Sweet. Look at family man Fox out here. Is it weird that I feel oddly closer to you right now, Tate? Like on like an
Yeah.
interpersonal level? I don't know.
That's what RP will
That was weird. Like, I love you, man. You're great.
look at a home game of D&D, of the dragon game that we don't talk about on the stream.
The dragon game.
The dragon game. I think the weirdest but funniest thing was RPing with my husband as his character has a boyfriend, and it's like, this feels weirdly too intimate
So
for like
cute.
the rest of these people around. Like, but I don't want to do this when we're not playing a role-playing game, because that feels weird. It's the whole thing. Role-playing is weird that way.
It's so cute. I fucking love it. That's so great. All right, that was a lot. I'm
Yeah.
feeling things. I think I teared up a little bit at some point there. So, yeah, I'm cool. Take the camera away from me. Someone else do something. I don't know.
All right. Well, unless one of you guys wants to do something tonight, then I think what we can do for a few more minutes is, how do you guys want to prepare for the road trip out? I think you see Daniel, like he's collected some basic like sleeping things and toiletries and stuff, and you can check the inside of this camper. It's like a brand that doesn't exist anymore that you guys don't recognize. But you do notice a few things, like the windows and the walls of this vehicle have been bulletproofed. And Lynx, I think the part that you would be very interested in is like the gun bit on the back as the wheel comes down. It's not like something you sit on. It has like a mechanical motor and things that's supposed to be controlled from like the front dash, but you can hack into that and mess with it if you'd like.
I think Lynx would probably ask Daniel first, because she remembers back from like, you know, when we met up with Daniel the first time, that like they don't really like people messing with the control nodes, or at the very least like, you know, turn it over like afterwards. So just like
Well,
Daniel-
you can like, yeah, go. Sorry.
it's like Daniel, like I know it's operable from the dashboard, but I don't know. Do you have any like trying to like? Fuck it. Do you mind if I go in and make some changes?
He thinks about it for a second. He's like, well, yeah, we only just got this. Like, I know I said don't mess with the nodes for like Nomad's stuff, but no one has yet. This is like bare minimum, literally just a control. I don't even know that it has a node technically, but we could put one in. Look, this is a blank slate. I'm fine with us messing with it. We get to be the first ones to drive this, so we get to decide. It's actually kind of cool for me. I only recently got like permission to do this sort of thing.
Hey, okay.
And we
okay,
can put some family funds too to upgrading this a bit. Not a lot. So basically, you can, like, it's a 50% cost to normally installing like auto driving features and nodes and stuff.
Well, okay, auto drive. Okay, question for the GM: who's going to be driving this vehicle?
You can decide. Daniel does have his motorcycle, so he can drive that outside of it. And no one's really else is going to be able to drive that the same way, but anyone else can drive the main car.
I would say best for by default to let, like, if we're gonna be like, if we're like not like if we're just kind of just like chilling, like just like driving around normally, let Daniel drive this vehicle because it's his family's. That's to be safe about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to like go out on his bike at any point, and, like scout ahead or like like chart a path for us or anything like that, we can have like one of us. I have a couple points in drive vehicles, so like I can do that if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Daniel outlines it's like his plan for this is that actually he would be driving the motorcycle outside of this car, and one of you three would be driving this vehicle in particular, if only because it gives him a lot more mobility to see around him, to see other vehicles at a distance, and then he'd be communicating with you guys in there.
I mean,
sort of like
we
a front-running.
You can always like take shifts depending on who feels like they're relatively good with like driving or whatever.
Good. Would an auto drive feature say improve any like vehicle like handling?
Well, auto drive might be helpful because then we could do like shift sleeping basically, or like we could keep it moving while like we get some rest, you know?
Yeah, it's one. You do have to install the node on the inside, and that can be connected to the gun and the vehicle. And what it really will end up doing is it does have like sort of a vague autopilot feature that'll just stay within the lines and drive forward and slow down before it hits something, but not like maneuvers. If you're going to be in combat, it's not going to do much for you. However, it is a program, so I will let you, if you want to, install that, and then you can use your net running checks instead of vehicle stuff to drive it.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
As well as
You should do
operate
that.
the gun.
You should do
Okay.
that. You should definitely do that.
Because Lynx is thinking about this and also thinking about copying her Kraken Black Ice to guard the node.
It's true. You could do that. It could also operate the gun for you, so you don't have to use your actions. to do it.
Yeah. Do that. Definitely do that.
Sorry, it's a Kraken and like, hello.
So you're saying we can release the Kraken?
Yes.
Perfect.
Release the Kraken.
Perfect.
With a big old fucking mounted gun on the back.
I mean, what better version of the Kraken is there? Something better
So
than the QAnon
if
version.
Lynx can do that, Lynx is gonna do that and then like just not sleep doing that.
Oh yeah. So I think most of the night while you're in the apartment is spent like setting up that architecture, and then in the morning it's like for the day before you leave. Yeah, it's like the hardwire installing it, and I think you grab Enzo and be like, "Hey, yeah, this is going to be a cool project," and he does think it's very cool. He's like, "Ah, yes."
It's like, yeah.
Daniel helps so that you like have the understanding of the vehicle, so you don't like mess with some wiring that's very important. And yeah, what I'd like you to do is roll me some security tech, and then you can add +4 to that because Enzo's helping.
Cool. Can I add a +2 from the scanner too?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is a scanner thing.
Yee.
So that's a +6. That's a 24.
Io!
This is real good. This is real good. So you, yeah, so you get this installed, and it even takes like a little less time than you thought. Enzo's happy to help. You can see several of his like drones sort of looking around, and he seems to be writing down notes on like, okay, so this is the best way to da-da-da-da-da. He's learning from this. He's getting something out of it too. And we'll deal with the cost of that letter, but it is half of what it would normally be. It's mostly going to just be the cost of the net architecture because the other parts are already there.
Got it.
So yeah, that's kind of it on that. That kind of takes up your day. Doc, what did you want to set up here?
Well, I am going to drop a few EBs on materials and make some more medicine because I get the feeling
okay.
I might need it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, so I don't have access to the book right now, but I believe for 200 EBs, I can use my pharmaceutical skill to make 2 doses of speed heal.
Yeah, okay, let me...
Gives me 4 doses in total, I think.
Yeah.
I forget the... Oh, right, I need to make a... I think I need to make a roll for that.
Yeah, I'm just finding it because some of the roll abilities are very long, and so they take up the whole section.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Tech skill, medical machinery, each time. Yeah, it's a DV13 medical tech check.
Okay. So... Ah, I'm blowing a luck.
Yeah.
Wait. I just like saying do it. I'm sorry.
Get it, get it.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Better.
Roll me another 10. Roll me another and add it, because
Hey, big crits.
Holy crap! Double crit!
The
30.
solid 30. The solid 30.
So technically, you can actually make a number of doses in a single hour. So you can make those 2 doses in an hour. So you have 12 hours. I'm going to say it's actually you get double doses for double crit, because that's very, very good.
Hell yes.
So every hour you want to spend into this, you get 4. How many you want to spend?
How long?
I'll also let you split it between the different drugs. They don't all have to be speed heal. That was just the one you were going for.
All right. How long are we going to be out there? Is this a day trip or?
They said it's going to take about 3 days, but that was assuming you guys stop at night to get there. You're kind of have to gonna go a weird way, like towards Nevada, down through Arizona into the Grand Canyon, like around like Utah, up in through the corner of New Mexico into Colorado. So it's a weird long roundabout trip because those are the only freeways that still function.
Damn, we're gonna be out for a while.
And if I had slightly more IP, I could make an entirely new drug of those.
True, but
I don't, so I can't, so I won't.
I'm gonna say you can do 10 hours worth of work today. I'm gonna say so that's like 40 doses if you really want in whatever combination of these things. It's just that's 200 eddies per hour. So it's like 4,000 eddies if you want to use all of it.
Yeah. So the thing about most of the pharmaceuticals is you can't use them more than once in a day. I mean, you can, but it won't do anything. So let's see. So there's 5 of us in total, right? So the 3 of us, Enzo and Daniel.
Oh, Enzo's not coming. He just helped you fix the vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
Actually, that makes this a little easier. So let's say I work for 3 hours in total. I spend 2 of them making speed heal, so that gives me 8 doses of speed heal. And then I spent the last one making rapid detox. So 8 doses of speed heal and 4 of rapid detox. Didn't give me enough drugs to keep us alive through the.
I think that's a good idea. And yeah, that's 200 eddies per hour. So
Right.
at
So that's 600.
as long as you can keep track of that. yeah, as long as you keep track of that on your sheet, I'm just gonna trust you to be honest with the numbers, because we have a table filled with trust here. That's how that works, guys. You don't have to be mean as a game master. You don't, I promise.
Well, I guess the only thing I have to do is next morning go pick up links. That's it. That's all I gotta do.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other? I mean, because you would have time, Fox, if you want to pick up some more materials, go shopping real quick. If there's anything else you wanted.
I think I'll just load up on some extra ammo for like my guns and such things. Make sure I'm cool up on those. I can't think of anything in particular I need. Then he'd probably go pick up a re-up or two. You know, the double up on the usual re-up. Just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be on for a little bit of time. Won't be able to pick up for a bit, so I'm gonna stock up for a little bit. All right, boss. Other than that, no, he's probably chilling. Probably pretty cool on. I don't think I really necessarily need anything right now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty much all it is. Yeah, pretty much all good. So yeah, the next morning he would wake up. And with you know, he'd wake up, he'd get himself all together, he'd, you know, just be like, say again, just like one more goodbye, Jess, offer her like a kiss on the cheek if she accepts it, you know, give her a big old hug and a squeeze, ruffle her hair, just like, I'll see you guys in a little bit, and he'll just, you know, again, not blasting anything, just very solemnly drive back over to the apartment, just grab links, just, morning, Mom, you ready to go? What are you humming?
She's elbow deep in the vehicle at this point, like
just humming while just like working. You can like see like the VR lens just over the face.
You're working, right? Okay, we can we'll talk later. Don't worry about it. Just know I'm ready to go if you are.
All right, give me a couple of minutes. I am still working on setting up this Kraken.
Exciting. Sounds techy.
It's like
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, let's go get Doc. We'll just hug the junk out of the city and get loaded up. Remember, we're leaving tonight.
I mean, if you want to just like leave without Lynx is like elbow deep in the frame right now.
Well, all right. I'm gonna head over to Neon Lights. I guess head back there after I grab a shower and some other stuff. Get myself changed. You'll notice he definitely is still wearing what he wore last night. It's like I'm gonna shower and get myself changed. And yeah, get myself all set together, and then I'll head back to Neon Lights, I guess. By then,
Lynx pulls out some candy and it just like shoves it at like the direction where she heard Fox's voice, and is like, "Candy, Reyna, here."
Since every time I mention going there, you're gonna give me something to give to my daughter.
Yes.
Okay, whatever. I'm going.
I think it's after you. Yeah, it's after you like shower and get ready, and then come back. You actually end up driving in the camper back there, so you can keep your sort of car in the underground parking of your apartment. And you just kind of spend the rest of the day fixing that up. Doc sort of like making meds and supplies and packing them away in various places. This camper has like one bed inside of it, but it has that like side panel thing that will extend out and give you a little more space when it's parked.
Sweet.
There's easily places you can hide just kind of a crazy amount of stuff. It's like they've made all of the cabinets have some secret compartment for a gun of some kind. And Daniel has been getting like generic groceries. Sorry, what?
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
He wields a gun.
I think Daniel mostly just grabs a bunch of like kibble. I think he grabs some like tea bags and a boiler so that you can make tea on the way in, as that's more his favorite. You can add some of like those little things from the cafe that they're not going to miss that you can just bring with you. But I think that is about it. As it gets closer to the afternoon and Daniel's getting ready to go, he's like fixing up his bike, and he looks at all you. He's like, "All right, so, I mean, I know the location you're going, but is there anything that you'd like to? Do we need to talk about before we head out about that? Like where we're going?"
I We trust you entirely, Daniel. We know what we're headed for and where we're supposed to be looking for when we find it. So, you lead the way and we'll follow you out, all right? Just keep us alive.
Yeah. And also just details for you is Spider sent you like details about how this place was hidden. That there's just sort of like a gas station out in the middle of nowhere that looks like a regular gas station, and there's just some like old shipping containers in the back that a truck, like a big semi truck, can just back its materials into it. It drops the materials in, and it's actually a pretty small robot building facility. It's like a compact. It's meant for people not to live in it or do stuff. It's all automatic. And so it's really not going to be that big. It's more, the gas station around it is built up like an extremely defensible position.
Right, that makes sense.
So he has some maps for you, but they're not like great. They're kind of vague, like satellite images. And so you can share those with Daniel, and he just thinks about it. And it's like, all right, so yeah, I think that's all we're going to need. He's like looking at maps. It's like, we can either take this route, and he points to one, and it's going to kind of go around through the Grand Canyon. It's a little more winding, but he's like, this, I think, will help us avoid more of the, like, bandits that might get us. Those road warrior types that watch some old apocalypse movies and have got it too far into their head.
Right.
And then he does another route, and this is a little more direct. It's like, this is going to be a little more off-road at sections, but then it's also going to have some really long stretches of road that are just open. There's just nothing. You ever been to Nevada? It's like God took a belt sander and just and then left the dust.
No,
it's
friend,
it's
I've
flat.
never been to Nevada, but thank you for letting me know. Listen, friend, this is your up.
It's extremely exposed. It's extremely exposed. And I think either, it's just going to be much faster. So I think either way is good.
Well, you said to go on the canyon, it might be the best way to avoid our road warrior bandit types, and I don't necessarily want to get shot at or put too many holes in this thing, so let's go that way, huh?
Seems fair.
Directions?
Thanks is all for not getting shot at.
From me.
All right,
Canyon path it
perfect.
is.
Let's make Doc's life
And,
a little bit more easier, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get me home to my kid if you can.
that's the plan. And, yeah. Oh, this is both Tate and Daniel.
Got that feeling.
This is Tate stealing from his uncle who does stand-up, talking about that area of the country through Daniel. So,
Fine, I got it. All good.
so yeah, you guys sort of pack into the camper. It's a little cozy. Daniel and the bike out in front signals you, and you guys leave, probably for the first time for some of you in your life,
Yeah.
off the east side of Night City.
Yeah, it's Fox's first time leaving that city. He's just like, he's driving right now, I guess, or like, I guess unless your auto thing's driving links, which I'm totally fine with. But like, if your auto thing's driving links, like, the moment we kind of like get out on the open highway, Fox is kind of just like in the window, almost childish, just like, oh, it's so empty out there. It's like, huh, this is impressive. Yeah,
I think Daniel's in radio contact with you. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of space out here nobody can really use anymore.
huh. Cobra really fucked this place, huh?
Yeah,
Dang.
Daniel seems like upset about. He's like, yeah, they really did.
Lynx
So
is just gonna conk out and just like pull out like, cause Lynx has like an inflatable sleeping bag, so it's just gonna like roll it out and just conk out immediately after like pulling an all-nighter to install everything.
Oh, perfect. The moment you're asleep, Fox is just gonna like come and just like sit down next to you, just like very dramatically in a huff, just. But just look up, just look over, just like, and how was your night, Ma? Just with no response, just like, good. Talked just last night. Yeah, that was something. Nah, I'm good. I just thinking, you know. Nah,
Lynx is
you're
out
right.
cold.
No, you're right. I shouldn't worry about that. Actually, it's not a big deal. Anyway, you sleep. It's fine. I just wanted to fill you in. Now you can't say I didn't tell you, right? Okay. See ya. Kind of like.
Doc, you can hear all this.
Of course.
You just get up and just like go sit on the other side and just like kind of look out the window and like think for a bit. Go to look over her dock and just go, tell her anything and I shoot you.
I know how to fix. I'm a doctor. I know how to fix it.
Can you fix it while I'm still shooting?
And I think that's actually a really fun scene to sort of end this session.
I'm fine with that.
And thus begins the road trip out into just a very wasteland. Perfect, because I have other maps to work on. Anyways,
Sorry.
Like,
Let's go.
thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you guys, everyone in chat, and for my players for showing up. I quite like this session just because some intense stuff happened. This has been Neon Lights in Night City, the cyberpunk game, and Cyberpunk Red using the system. Very much not D&D, and yeah, it's been fun. I think I'm gonna have my players introduce themselves and say where they're at, or like where you can find them.
Yo, what's up? It's me, Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, aka Pepperband for Twitter Foxy. So don't find me on Twitter, but find me on some other places. I don't know. I'm on. Yeah, I'm super permabanned, by the way. Like, yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. Find me on Twitter whenever I make another Twitter, whenever I feel like it. I haven't bothered with it yet, but find me on SoundCloud if you want. I'm doing that, and more importantly, find me, I guess, on the internet a lot, cause I did the math, and over the next like 14 days, I'm not necessarily on stream, but on camera 9 days. Like, it's yeah, it's rough. So let's see. Let's tally it up. So I'm off tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm all off. Catch me Thursday over on, I'm pretty sure over on Nat 20 for part 1 of the Roundhouse Omega / Alpha finale, which is gonna be wild. You don't want to miss that. Friday, catch me in 2 separate panels. One with my dear friend Turk over on TPK, doing a TPK con panel on world building, which is going to be super, super fun. Then immediately after that end, catch me over here for our TPK con panel on restorative justice in your campaign. I'm going to have Michelle and Tate in that too. It's going to be super great. And then once that's over, catch me Saturday in Seven Sons, because that's still going to be a thing. Then catch me Sunday in Sir Hex TPK Con panel on biology and things and world building and stuff like that. Then catch me Monday in the second part of the Roundhouse finale, because that's going to be happening over on TPK. And then Tuesday, we're finally recording episode 1 of our Overarms campaign, Core Hearts. That's finally happening. And then Wednesday, I'm running a one-shot. So, you know, just a lot of me over the next couple of days, guys. So just prepare for...
Gonna get your dose of Foxy for the year.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
By the time we get to my one-shot,
He is not on screen. All other players should be saying, "Where's Fox?"
Yeah, I'll literally just be like, by the time we're at the one-shot, I'll just be like, and you walk into a room and you see these things in the room, and what do you do with the stuff you see in the room? It's like, it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be fun. Anyway, that's all I got. Please just be around. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to hanging out, and streaming like this is keeps me alive, honestly. You guys are great. So that's all I got. Take it away, Michelle.
Michelle, hi. I played Blinks. I guess, yeah. I don't. Okay, let's get to the chase. For the next week, we have well, Fox already said the Friday thing.
Yeah, this is Friday thing.
I will be in the Saturday thing, Seven Sons, as Mitz, our Quaddlefolk wizard, and on Sunday I'll be playing Corndog McGraw's score one shot with Sir Heck. So hi Heck, you're here. And
that's an amazing command. Sorry, whatever we did for Michelle's.
That's really
that's so good.
That's really fucked up, fam. That's really fucked up. Y'all would do that to me. That's really fucked up, actually. That's really fucked up, actually. That's real fuck. That's real fuck.
Right.
That's real fuck.
Okay, this is what I can say. I have a much lower stress level than Fox because I don't do any social media, unlike this
Got me there.
dude over here who used to do social media and therefore had stress levels like way through the roof.
Now I
Take
just
it
have
away.
real life stress.
Oh, my turn. Hi, I'm Dan.
Yep.
You can. I'm also in Seven Sons, which is gonna be next.
Wow.
I play everyone's favorite possessed suit of armor, Mako Sky. Aside from that, you can find me on Twitter at LandTheDan, all one word. I post stuff, usually food, but I think it's good food.
But that's old. We're past
One
that.
time.
We're past the Jeopardy
That was
drama.
One time.
That's old news.
Nah.
Also, no one can hear Spree talking
Unless he
shit
changed it.
behind the scenes.
Unless,
So I
he,
just
unless Spree
did-
changed it,
that was
Spree is
one
just
time
messing with Dan.
completely unprompted as far as anyone watching the stream is concerned.
Hey,
Nah.
please.
Anyways, my name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at kinda_writing on Twitter. You can also generally follow this place's Twitter account at Neon Lights Are Play. I got it right. I got it right.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
And then, yeah, I'm playing Wolf in the Seven Sun stream. I'm also part of the Restorative Justice and Tabletop that Friday before. And then almost just before the Seven Sun stream, I will be on the Iron DM show on TPK's con thing, which is going to be fun. I'm going to have to make a one-shot in 1 hour. Maps, characters, the whole shebang. It's going to be nuts. I'm going to be stressed the whole time. Come watch. I'll make maps almost faster than I do for this at the very last second. Anyways, and yeah. So I'm going to also have a pretty full weekend. We're going to see.
I have one last announcement to make. Obviously, I mentioned
yeah.
Core Arcs being recorded on the 13th, so we're gonna to get that episode edited and out soon, so be on the lookout for that. But much more importantly, as mentioned, because people weren't here for the announcement last time, the Naruto one-shot we ran, which was last Wednesday, is being converted into
fun.
a rotating one-shot campaign. Definitely watch the VOD for the one-shot. It was so much fun. You definitely want to see it. But
One is up on YouTube. Part 1 is up on YouTube, and Part 2 is coming in the next few days.
Cool. So hang on tight for that. But if you watch that and go, man, that looks so fun. I super want to play some Naruto with those people. You can join the Discord and be on the lookout for player apps and invites for that going out soon. Our applications for joining us as a player are currently live. If you want to join us as a player, if you want to get a chance to play with us, please find that form. It's pinned on our server. You can fill out that form. We'll schedule a meeting with you, and you can become a player to play in campaigns and games with us. And then once you have done that, when the invites go live, it's just a first come, first serve on filling up sessions for the Naruto one-shots. So if you want to be a part of those, be looking out for the server, be hanging out and watching us, and follow us, because we're 9 followers from 100. So throw some follows our way here on Twitch. That's all we really got here, though. Tate, anything
It's
else?
a really fun supplement. No, it's a real fun supplement. Y'all gotta try it. We'll help you mechanically build stuff if you need to have an idea.
Yeah,
because you know
it's
you want to do
super
fun.
fun.
And Michelle is gonna be running a lot of those one shots. So
Yeah, it's gonna
you
be
can see more of her as a DM.
so dope. So dope.
So good. I honestly want to play another one already.
Yeah.
All right, but I think that's been it. Thank you guys for showing up for our Cyberpunk game. Catch us all over this weekend as TPKCon happens.
You got it, friend. Take care.
Who should we raid? Should we raid someone?
Oh
Who should we
yeah.
raid?
Let me see who's up. Let me see who's up. Oh man. Oh wait, can we raid my dear favorite Ashen Rabbit? Can we do that?
Yeah, sure. I
Oh
don't see
my
anyone
God,
else on
yes.
my end I'm following who's on.
Cool. We're gonna. Oh,
One of my friends is live too.
Ash is playing Dragon Age Origins. We're gonna throw
Yeah.
it right over to her, and we're gonna say hey to Ash because everyone loves Ash, and Ash is great.
Also, should we say vote for Vox? Should we
Final
say
Fantasy
vote for Vox?
14 online.
I don't know. If you. All right. So we go for.
Dan,
So
Spree is
no
spoken.
message. Just say hi to Ash and give her all the love and attention for us, please, because she deserves it. Go check out Ash.
That's fair.
Follow her too, because she's great and deserves it. She's awesome. Does a lot of charity streams. Super cool content. Super chill, cozy, and lovely. That's all we got. Spree, take us away. All right, loves. Bye, everybody. We love you. Here comes I pressed the raid button.
Raid has happened. Can they still hear us? I don't know.
I don't
Has
know.
raid
Maybe
happened?
they can.
Hey!